story. Hulk Hogan's will has been revealed following his death from heart attack in July at 71 years old. Court documents show his son Nick Hogan is the sole beneficiary of nearly $5 million in assets, while his widow, Sky Daly, is listed as the surviving spouse.
Am I crazy?
I was surprised to see that number is as low as it is.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You figure that lengthy career, all of those endorsements, all of the stuff that he had. You know, he had the TV show, he had a couple movies, he had, there was, I would have expected something much larger.
Yeah, I don't know what all he was spending, but I have the breakdown of it here. There is one thing that stands out among that, though, or outside of that. His daughter, Brooke Hogan, not included.
She has to be not included.
Wow. As she reportedly asked to be removed from the will before his marriage to Daly, saying that she didn't want to be caught up in a financial battle.
Wow.
The estate includes $200,000 in cryptocurrency, almost $800,000 in personal property and intellectual property, publicity rights that are valued at $4 million, and a potential malpractice lawsuit. Now, his Clearwater, Florida homes, which are worth around $11 million, were not listed, possibly due to being in a trust or an LLC.
All right.
So that's a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more, but still, you would have thought it was much more.
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the absolute legends of wrestling.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So who knows what
maybe
people
do-rag expenses
do with their money.
Well, I mean,
he could have storage units all over Florida
filled with do-rags.
With do-rags and T-shirts.
The
guy ripped
them all the time.
Brand new ones.
You need to learn how to keep care of those things.
Yeah. Brooke has previously clarified that her sacred, quiet bond with her father had never been broken despite their estrangement. But she was not a part of that per her request.
Yeah.
Prince Harry and King Charles have officially reunited.
And it feels so good.
Harry was seen at Clarence House, Charles's London residence, yesterday, arriving separately from his father. This is the first time the two have been seen together since February. This is the first time they've seen each other since February last year when Harry visited his father after his cancer diagnosis.
There's some wonderful footage of them having hoverboard races around Buckingham Palace and just tearing it up.
Theories about a reconciliation have been making the rounds for months, with insiders describing the meeting as private and likely to be on Charles's terms.
So you look thin.
A royal source
This got weird, didn't it?
spilled to Us Weekly that Charles doesn't want to meet Harry, but Harry has caused chaos and hurt, so it's complicated. Sources describe the father-son meeting as a make-or-break moment that could either open the door to wider family peace or end reconciliation efforts completely.
Do you think there were any selfies taken during that encounter? Come here.
A little closer.
Stick your tongue out.
Prince William
Pretend
is...
that your fingers are a vagina. All those crazy... Pull on my finger.
Prince William is reportedly neutral but wary of the reunion, while Harry expressed hope for healing in a recent interview, saying, I would love to reconciliate with my family. I would love reconciliation with my family, and there's no point in continuing to fight anymore.
The last thing he wants to be is recalcitrant.
Yeah, no more.
Yeah.
Selena Gomez was on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and along with Steve Martin and Martin Short, and shared a few playful details about her upcoming wedding to Benny Blanco. When asked if her Only Murders in the Building co-stars would be at the wedding, she shared that Steve Martin would be and Martin Short would be her ring bearer.
That's great.
With Short jokingly acting out the role on stage.
You know, like our friend Shonda Renzi, she is the recipient of a kidney as well.
Yeah. Other celebrity friends could have roles as well. And Taylor Swift had previously joked she'd be the flower girl, while Ed Sheeran, David Henry, and Paris Hilton are also confirmed as guests. Gomez and Blanco started dating in 2023, and he asked for her hand in marriage last December. And she had a bachelorette party last month in Cabo.
I have to admit that I've become more of a fan of hers as the seasons have gone on with the Only Murders, because I love that show, and she's gotten, I think, better. She's gotten to be a better actor as the seasons have moved on. I learned more about her because of my affinity and affection for Steve Martin and Martin Short. I wonder how many people who are Selena Gomez's fans are appreciating Martin Short and Steve Martin now.
She's probably ported some of them over because she shares such a good relationship with them, and they clearly all really like each other.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt it. It would be really cool to think that someone who had no idea who Steve Martin or Martin Short is starts to revisit their earlier stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd think that it opens up the door a little bit.
Yeah,
I hope so.
and they're all equal producers on the series.
Yeah. All right, so Rosie O'Donnell has opened up about her playful fallout with Ellen, or I'm sorry, not playful, painful fallout.
Big difference.
With Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
Recalling how hurt she felt when Ellen had told Larry King in 2004, quote, "I don't know, Rosie, we're not friends." O'Donnell said that she had stood by DeGeneres when she came out, even helping inspire her own decision to come out, and expected the same support in return. Instead, she felt that Ellen had, she said, never really appreciated that moment and was stunned by her public dismissal. And she added that despite knowing each other for decades, DeGeneres never apologized or explained.
They were friends. Have you ever had somebody like that sort of ghost you friendship-wise? Because you were a lesbian?
I have nothing comes to mind.
I would assume, I've never had it. I assume it would be really jarring because apparently they were pretty close.
And especially publicly like that. I mean, I think that's the thing that really hit her. So, reflecting on Ellen's shows and amid toxic workplace allegations.
Yes.
Rosie said, "I knew the way she treated me must be the way she treats others, and I felt very betrayed." And though she insists that she doesn't wish her any ill will, she admits that she's never really gotten over the hurt that caused. So that one stung.
Did you guys happen to see the video of Greg Fitzsimmons talking about Ellen and working? Did you see that?
Yes,
All right.
it's not
Did you guys see it, Casey and Preston?
I did not.
So he was on the podcast We Might Be Drunk with Sam Morril and Mark Norman. And I really like both those comedians a lot. And Greg just does not hold back at all. He worked as a writer on Ellen's show, and he did not have one kind thing to say about her.
No kidding.
It was a really difficult work environment. And
very dehumanizing.
Yeah, and he's at the point now where he doesn't care, and I think Greg is great. I love how honest he is, and so I believe him. I take him at his word. If you get a chance, We Might Be Drunk is the name of their podcast.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be a charade.
Yeah, and he was just happy to have a job. Like, he was
participated in this wrong.
He was a warm-up comic. He'd come out and warm up the crowd and stuff, and he did not enjoy working there.
I love how he describes Nick. He says, I'm writing for the show. I don't have time to, it'll be like an extra, $100,000. I can do it.
Yeah. It was a good bump in pay for him, but still.
All right, after speculation that she was dating tennis pro Jannik Sinner was shot down by Brooks Nader herself, her sister, Grace Ann Nader, revealed that the reality star was, in fact, dating another tennis player.
What?
I didn't mean to shock you, but yes. Talking to E! News, Grace Ann said that her sister was involved with 2025 U.S. Open champ Carlos Alcaraz. Though she says that she wouldn't exactly call it dating. She said the rumors are true. Grace Ann has said dating is such a loose term, but I do know that he's the man of the hour.
So the PR teams are trying to make Brooks Nader and her sisters the new Kardashians breathlessly.
Yeah.
So they're floating all these stories out. It's wild because I remember one time watching Kathy has, connections to Debbie Gibson. And I dealt with a guy, one of my earlier agents, also had sort of a circuitous connection to Debbie Gibson. And we went and saw in Manhattan at the time the PR unit of this rising star.
Right.
And up on the board, they had this old style, dry erase board, the plan of attack.
Wow.
Loves to bicycle. Get a story in this. All these tendrils going out to float all these stories to keep her in the public conversation.
Yeah. Was any of it lying about stuff? Or
I think for her career, she was very innocuous at that point. They were just trying to get everything about her out.
Yes.
In every way possible.
Yeah, it's what PR people do.
What they do.
Yeah. So she's won an Academy Award. She has a regular high-paying gig on daytime television, but Whoopi Goldberg says that there's no way she can retire. She can't afford to. She was asked by Entertainment Tonight, a reporter, if she was ready to slow down as her 70th birthday approaches this November, and she said, "Who can afford that?" I said, "If you don't marry well, you got to keep working." When the reporter suggested that she was probably at a point in her career when she could afford to take her foot off the gas, Whoopi doubled down, saying, "No, not by now. Not yet. I got to keep paying those bills, baby."
There's a mindset about also keeping your lifestyle manageable.
Well, that's part of it.
You know?
Yeah, you have to. One of the things when planning for the future is, what type of lifestyle are you living? Are you living within your means?
Right.
And if you're making a lot of money, you can let it get away from you if you're not keeping your eye on the ball for down the road, for retirement, for a post, and how much are things going to cost, and how much am I going to spend per year? And that's how you plan on saving.
It can be a rude awakening.
If you're not ready for it, then it's like, oh my God, I got to keep working.
I have to do match game.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I see musicians as well that still tour till they're just falling in the grave, essentially.
Right.
And part of it I'm curious about is that out of necessity, or is it because they still like doing it?
They just love doing it.
Some people still like doing it and they want to keep it, but other people need to keep making money.
Well, the whole Frankie Valli story, we talk about him now. He's just basically a hand puppet. I feel so bad for him.
He looks he looks like a mannequin.
It's horrible, but he did have that point in his career where he was just taken to the cleaners by everyone in his life and was probably looking to wind down at that point and had to keep going.
Yeah. All right, this was weird. Actor James McAvoy, our buddy, was reportedly sucker punched while minding his own business at a bar in Toronto this week. McAvoy was out Monday night at Charlotte's Room with producers of his new film, California Shaman. I think that's how you SCHEMIN.
Oh, shaman. It's a French word, means like way or street.
Okay, California Shaman. When, according to a source, there was a man who drank too much, who was getting escorted out, who randomly punched him in the back of the head as he was passing him. McAvoy reportedly tried to de-escalate the situation. He seemed unfazed by the assault, staying at the bar after the incident and enjoying the rest of his evening.
So occasionally in my social media threads, things will pop up like this, and there is one just outlandish sucker punch that this guy does on another guy, Preston. I said, and it was all over the place when it first debuted, so to speak. He punched the wrong guy because this guy does this roundhouse kick and just lays him out.
Yeah. Sometimes you F with the wrong bull. Got to be careful.
Yeah.
This was sad to see. Actress Polly Holliday, most well known for her role in the 70s and 80s sitcom Alice, has passed away. She died Tuesday at her home in Manhattan, according to her agent. Holliday's breakout role on Alice was as Flo, the witty Southern waitress whose catchphrase "Kiss my grits" made her a star. There was a time where she was the biggest thing on television.
She was huge. So and that "Kiss my grits" thing was the catchphrase. There were T-shirts and all that stuff. But you also remember her, Preston, from Gremlins.
Yeah, she was in Gremlins, and she only played the role of Flo on that show for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
She got a spin-off series, Flo, which wasn't very good, but it ran for 2 seasons. And film appearances, like Steve said, returned as the villainous Mrs. Deagle in Gremlins, along with roles in The Parent Trap and All the President's Men, as well as others. Her last on-screen credit was in 2010. She was in Fair Game. She passed away at the age of 88.
She was working on Too Flow, Too Furious.
Too Furious. All right, Jordan Hudson made headlines when she attempted to trademark several phrases associated with her boyfriend and legendary NFL coach Bill Belichick. When she was unsuccessful, she tried again, taking a page out of Taylor Swift's playbook. She initially tried to trademark the phrases "do your job," "ignore the noise," and "gold digger."
Come on.
Also, the Bellastrator.
The Bellastrator.
And "no days off." When the patent office told her those would create confusion with the original trademarks already filed by New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft, she came back with the same catchphrases, each with, it says, Bill's version tacked on the end, a la Swift and her Taylor's version recordings. It worked for Swift, but not so much for Hudson, who was turned down once again.
How about life-sucking succubus?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to have an opinion on this woman, but it bothers. Like, apparently she's on the sidelines at these games, and like that, I can't stand. Like, what? That never, ever, ever happens. You never see girlfriends. You never see wives on the sidelines or in the dugout or anything like that. Like, get over yourself. Like, I just don't get it.
Whatever.
Like,
if it's a female coach or whatever, you don't see the husband. There's no that's you're working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is weird.
No business on the sideline.
Do you know what occurred to me though, Kay, seeing pictures of her and various interviews where she's sort of overseeing his interview. I mean, she's kind of controlling a lot. She brought back in my mind the phrase "resting bitch face." She does have that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm looking at Nick pulled up her Instagram account and I'm looking at her pictures. It's all her smiling and
Yeah, look at her.
I'll have to look at the resting bitch face. Yeah, you know.
I'm rooting for these
It's
two crazy
true love.
kids.
These two crazy kids.
Listen, he's getting exactly. And by the way, he's 50% of it. He's getting what
That's
he
exactly
wants.
right. Yeah, they're both equally responsible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they're both getting what they want.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Absolutely.
They're both getting
She
what
just
they
has
want.
to dust his penis off.
All right, Superman was a huge hit. So how to get top that? Well, James Gunn explained where the Man of Steel goes from here. He's talking about the upcoming sequel, Man of Tomorrow. And he said it's a story about Lex Luthor and Superman having to work together to a certain degree against a much, much bigger threat. It's more complicated than that, but that's a big part of it. It's as much a Lex movie as it is a Superman movie. He said, I loved working with Nicholas Hoult. I relate to the character of Lex, sadly, and I really want to create something extraordinary with the two of them. I just love the script so much. And he revealed that the production on the sequel will begin next April.
The concept is very cool. Superman will unite with Lex Luthor, and they're both going to work to get their real IDs. So it's yeah.
That
is
a Herculean task.
huge.
You
issue.
wait here while I go get us some lunch.
Yeah. By the way, speaking of DC stuff, fans are getting their first look at the upcoming movie Clayface through set photos, and some think they've spotted evidence that the Joker could be a part of the movie. One photo includes a black and white poster that reads, "Corruption is the enemy of the people," and also "March against the GCPD, Park Row, Gotham, this Saturday, 2 p.m., join the Joker." Other behind-the-scenes photos have reportedly featured graffiti that reads "The Jokers." The movie will star Tom Rhys-Harris as Clayface, an actor who becomes disfigured and later has his body turned into, you guessed it, clay.
Will his sidekick ass hat be in there as well?
Clayface hits theaters on September 11th.
What's that on your head?
Next year. So, I don't know if ass hat
It's an ass.
will be a part of that or not.
Which Batman universe is this in? Is this the Robert Pattinson Batman universe, or anybody know?
No, it's not. So they're James Gunn has said, now he's gone back on things he said before, that the Robert Pattinson Batman universe is one unto itself.
Okay.
What is the next superhero movie out, whether it be DC or Marvel? Do we?
don't know.
I mean, so Marvel, are we waiting on Doomsday?
Doomsday, yeah.
That's the next. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's ways off. So, all right, fans of Wednesday got some good news on Tuesday. Fred Armisen, who plays Uncle Fester on the hit Netflix series, has confirmed, and he did it on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, that a Fester spinoff project is on the way.
He was terrific in this second season.
Yeah, Casey's been watching it. You're 3 episodes into the second season.
Yeah.
I finished it with my my wife and my youngest, and we absolutely love that series.
Do you know what it is? It is from beginning to end, and Tim Burton is all, throughout it. It is fun.
Yeah.
It is just, if you like long hallways and torches and creepy things and fun things, and a cast that I freaking love all over the place. That's this show, Wednesday.
And Preston, I'm a huge fan of Fred Armisen, and I love when he does his drum set comedy. And so he was on the Fallon show. I sent you the video, but he does this whole bit about the song from Diana Ross, "I'm Coming Out." He's like, I just feel like the drummer. It's kind of like he sits down at the kit and the band starts playing a song and he doesn't know what song they're playing and then they bring out a drum kit and he does this whole skit. It is so good. It is.
That's interesting.
So
I'll have to
funny.
watch that because I always liked that drum part in that song. It's cool. It's disjointed in the beginning.
Disjointed with a couple of fills and stuff, but just
it's very clever actually.
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure he has some fun with it. So interesting. But the show, I find myself, I laugh at the lines. They throw some really great, awesome insults from Wednesday in there, left and right, that are just clever.
And I love Enid.
Oh, she's great. So he had said on the show, Fred Armisen, he said, yeah, we're working on it. It's fantastic. It's amazing. And it was initially reported to be in development back in December 23, but Armisen has admitted they officially have it on the way.
And speaking of Enid, she reminds me so much of Charlie Day's Wife, the waitress in It's Always Sunny.
There's a similarity.
Yeah.
She is the epitome of waifish.
Yeah.
I mean, as is the other girl,
Agnes?
with the big eyes.
Yeah.
Agnes,
and I'm
yeah.
still trying to determine whether or not,
They CGI'd it a little
because
bit.
those are the most.
They're the largest eyes,
but-
eye to face ratio I think
but
I've ever
beautiful.
seen. It's almost anime-esque.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're so big. All right, a new docuseries on the life of ex-Spice Girl Victoria Beckham is coming to Netflix, simply titled Victoria Beckham. The 3-part series will chart the rise of the singer turned fashion designer and mom of 4.
I started watching the Charlie Sheen documentary last night.
Me too.
It has some big shoes to fill, the Victoria Beckham one.
Yep.
It will go behind the scenes of her marriage to David Beckham and will follow her as she preps for another grueling Paris Fashion Week show. The docuseries will premiere on Netflix on October 9th. And then one last thing. All episodes of Late Night with David Letterman are coming to streaming through Samsung TV Plus, which struck a deal with NBC Universal to license over 1,800 episodes for its FAST channel, Letterman TV. The channel launched in December last year, already features The Late Show with David Letterman and will now combine both of his late night runs for the first time. Dave said in a release, all the fun of NBC and me 40 years ago. Are you kidding? The golden age of television, all thanks to my old friends at NBC, joining my new Samsung TV Plus friends. Now more reason to stay home and watch TV. Initial releases will feature landmark episodes such as his debut with Bill Murray, his 1-year anniversary, and themed specials like Camping with Barry White. So all 1,800 episodes. That's amazing.
There was a time when his anniversary shows, those shows were just, you did not miss them. They were always the absolute best.
All right, here we are with the clips. Mrs. Hughes is the comforting housekeeper with witty comebacks who was voted the best Downton Abbey character of all time. And here Phyllis Logan talks about saying goodbye to the beloved character.
Inevitably, there is a hint of nostalgia about it, and I wouldn't say regret, but sorrow, maybe that's too big a word, but there's certainly a bit of sentimentality attached to the fact that we won't be doing this ever again.
Shut the up!
Downton Abbey, the grand finale opens on Friday. Here's our next clip. The members of Spinal Tap haven't spoken in decades, so why are they suddenly playing a gig together? Well, here, Carrie Gottman, who plays Hope Faith, the daughter of Ian Faith, explains the premise of the film.
The manager, guy with the cricket bat, he is no longer with us, and I've inherited their contract. They have to play a show if a song gets in the charts. So Garth Brooks covers Big Bottom, and that gets in the top 10. It goes viral, and that means that they're contractually obligated to do a gig.
I can't wait to see this. I'm really excited for it.
All fears were dispelled when I saw that first trailer.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're bringing back all the people like Fran Drescher. All of them are back.
And Garth Brooks does a cover of Big Bottom. I love it.
And we're talking to Brad Williams later, and you just know he's got to be playing one of the Stonehenge dwarfs.
Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, opens on Friday, by the way. So we'll find out very, very soon how good it is. Steve mentioned we have Brad Williams joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. We also have actor Tony Goldwyn on the show. Our friend Chef Brian Duffy, there's an event coming up, so he's swinging by to tell us about that. And the gang from Piccalillion is going to be popping in here, and they're going to set us up with a whole bunch of award-winning buffalo wings, tails, and ears, and we will have giveaways in conjunction with that. So
and looking forward in the A to Z, we're not going to get it today, but somebody will today. Stonehenge from Spinal Tap.
Yes. Well, let's find out what we get next. We'll take a break. We're in the S's in the back school A to Z. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We appreciate you having us on your show.
I've never been on the radio before.
It's all right. I do. I say something like that on a daily
Preston,
basis. That's totally
what's
wrong.
the latest phrase?
Good morning to see you.
Preston said that, so you're absolutely
Good morning
fine,
to see you. All good, Jessica. What's up?
Welcome.
I was in Indiana, and there was a large cat rescue, and they had accidentally had baby tigers. And so for an extra like $5, you could go in and visit that with them. You know, who doesn't want to go pet a tiger?
Right.
And they were about the size of like, a big lab. So they weren't huge, but big enough that one decided like my calf looked really tasty, and it bit down on my calf.
Wow.
Yeah, it didn't break any skin. It left a good bruise, and it bejeebies out of me. But
You said it was the size of a large lab?
of like a dog.
It's a big animal. If
Yeah.
a dog that size bites you, that's problematic. If you have one that's trained to do that, that's basically wild.
Yeah,
and
this
it
isn't-
clamps down. Yeah.
This isn't a kitten. This
Yeah.
is a young tiger. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't it, but it was definitely older than
Yeah.
Was it able to buy alcohol?
That's pretty wild, Jeff. You have a tiger bite. That's way up there on bragging rights.
I like to use it in the whole 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah, totally.
Because no one believes it. I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Wow. Do you remember when the trainer that we knew would bring Louie in here,
Yeah.
Louie the chimpanzee? Man, I'll never forget that. He brought him in a couple times. It was really cool to be that close to a chimpanzee and hold him and so on. But he was always on guard.
Yes.
The trainer
Oh, yeah.
was like he didn't lighten up for a moment.
No, because he said at any moment, like he was stronger than everyone in the room.
Absolutely. And that if he were to become unhinged, we got real trouble.
And he said that, like the 3 of the children's parties, every 4th one he'd have to shoot the in front of the kids.
Well, and he would bring, he would.
Get out of the way!
They would bring them to parties and things like that. We had them out.
We did too, Kat.
And how it eventually ended. I don't remember if it was Louie or I think he had Mikey too. Yeah. But they got out of their. All he would say was they got out of their cage and they had to send them to zoos.
Yeah.
Well, he brought in one time a cub, a bear cub.
Oh yeah.
And
black
it was my
bear
wife
cub?
and my wife. The bear cub fell asleep. Claire came in. My wife just because she couldn't believe it, and I said, "You got to get a chance to pet a bear cub." The bear cub fell asleep on her lap. She was sitting on the floor. Those spikes on that that's a bear cub.
Yeah.
Those things look like Wolverine.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything on these friggin' things. It was unbelievable.
So, did you guys see the movie Nope by any chance?
Yes.
Because there's
No.
like an underlying theme of a chimp like going crazy. It's terrifying because, it would listen, fiction thing in the movie, but
It's not inaccurate.
what that thing did,
Yeah.
it could, that could have happened in
Yeah,
here.
looking back on Louie and Mikey, like they were cute when they were here, but I'm
Not a great idea.
no, it was not
Yeah.
smart. Like they're wild animals, and they shouldn't be kept in cages like
We
that.
also had the white Bengal tigers. Remember that?
Yep. Yep. That was well before Tiger King came out,
Yes.
and we didn't realize that any yokel could walk around with
The possum bowl doesn't seem so bad now, does it? Yeah.
Right. Let me see here. Okay, since we did mention snapping turtles, we got to go to Tom here real quick. Hey, Tom, morning, bud.
Good morning to see you.
Yes, very good. Good morning to see you. Good morning, it.
Welcome.
What's up, Tom?
Yeah, I used to go camping a lot when I was younger, and I would always bring a friend. And this one friend, he was like huge into reptiles. He always had, snakes, lizards, turtles, and all that kind of stuff. So there was always like little kind of sitting ponds around. There was always frogs, snakes, turtles, and stuff. So we would
Right.
go looking. And one time we didn't see this thing, but a huge snapper out of nowhere bit him on his ankle.
Snapper.
And it like ripped the vein out.
Wow.
Like a mile away from the campsite, we had to run back, and I'm a fat boy, so it sucked. It was bad.
Did you guys have to wrap a tourniquet around him or anything?
Once we got back,
Wow.
It took probably 20 minutes to get back.
Oh, my
to the campsite,
God.
but he needed stitches. I think he got 8 stitches.
Dude, that's why one of the things that you see the lunatics. There's a guy who had I think a TV show. He's had not a tooth in his mouth, but he would go into the murky, muddy water.
Yes.
And apparently snapping turtles make for great turtle soup or whatever. So he just reaches his arms down in this brown muck. And pulls out snapping turtles. Yeah. And I it was almost too tense to watch the damn show.
Thanks, Tom. That's messed up. All right, here. This might be most exotic bite. I know we had tiger and ostrich and a few other things, but this says my sister got bit by a chinchilla.
Okay.
At Funimals in Westchester.
Oh my God.
Funimals.
As a kid, and still hates those cute little balls of fluff to this day. She asked for it though. She stuck her finger in the cage.
Okay.
I got bit by a chinchilla.
Well, you see it all the time where people say, "Don't put your fingers in the cage," or if you get like a little like a behind the scenes or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So
I got kind of reprimanded. I've told this story before. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
But my junior high Spanish teacher, Mr. Huddleston, did some wildlife work with the St. Louis Zoo, and he would foster some of these animals. And when he had facilities where he could keep them,
like big cats, right?
Yeah, he could keep
getting
them.
killed by
So
one, right?
yeah, but anyhow, he brought in he had a mountain lion in it was a kitten. It was a baby mountain lion in a carry case, and he came walking up to the school. I'm like, no way! Oh my God! And I stuck my finger in there, and he's like, don't do that. That thing will bite it off. He's like, whatever you're doing, do it. And yeah, he was killed by a leopard in his backyard.
So that shows you how good, however good they are wild animals.
Yeah.
You know, you have to remember that. I was at the Philadelphia Zoo here, and we were back. They had an armadillo. I didn't realize this, but the larger armadillo is the kind you might find out in Texas. When they ball up, if your finger gets caught in that, it can break your finger.
Yeah, and those shells, whatever those things are.
The armor.
The bands.
The armor and the armadillo.
All right, we need to take a break. We're actually going to talk to a bite victim in a little while. Maggie, who's a sharp bite victim, is going to be joining us. But real quick, I want to go. I was on hold for a long, long time, and they just hung up. Never mind.
Well,
Sorry
don't worry
that.
about it because we have a picture with a snake wearing a helmet.
And we got smoking snakes.
Yeah.
And they have an Uber Eats thing on the back.
That is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
We'll share this on our socials.
That's wonderful.
That's phenomenal. Okay.
All snakes really should have helmets.
Yes.
What if they take a spill?
Yeah, for safety purposes.
All right. Well, anyhow, thank you for sharing the stories. We appreciate it. And like I said, we'll get Maggie on in a little while, who's a shark bite victim in Stone Harbor.
Yeah.
So we'll get her on in a bit. But let's take a break and come back in a second. We'll get into the bizarre file when we return. Stay with us. By the way, Northeast High School, you're up for coolest teacher. Make sure you let us know who the coolest teacher of the year has been. Text word teacher to 39333 if you go to Northeast, and we'll send you the voting link. We'll be back in a moment.
Is it Katie Kane?
Katie Kane.
Looks like Candy Cane.
Yeah.
And I like Candy Cane. Happy birthday, you.
And then a shark?
Yeah. Ooh.
Sorry about that. I had the black bean soup.
Okay. All right. So happy birthday, Katie. All right. So I want to go back to the story we had in the bizarre file. Is it Mykonos? Is that how you pronounce it, Kathy?
Yeah.
That's in Greece?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in Greek, Preston.
It's in Greek.
Yeah.
So a mother and daughter were there. They went to a restaurant. They were kind of talked into hanging out in this particular area of the restaurant, which is a sun deck that they have, and they sat at these chairs. And
It's apparently a popular location.
It's
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to be
a very tasty city.
real beautiful view,
Yeah.
right?
It's gorgeous. This doesn't surprise me though. Like a lot of the places seem to be a little bit like this, where you
Okay.
pay $600 for two
They're
drinks.
predatory, right?
Yeah, and it seemed like
right.
so. They eventually they were kind of nudged into ordering some food or anyway.
Two mojitos.
Two mojitos and 2 crab legs, like just 2 crab
Right,
legs.
Two.
Not 2 orders of
No.
crab
Are
legs.
you even
2
full after
legs.
that?
Right.
King crab legs.
They're big.
In their defense, the big crab legs.
yeah.
But they were charged like $640 or 600 euros for that, or they were going to call the cops on them.
They were threatened literally with that, with not being able to leave the country. Now, I'm sure, no matter what,
that wouldn't happen.
No matter what the story is, that kind of predatory stuff will happen, as you were saying, Kathy. If you looked at the history of this place, the reviews are replete with
It's a
all
scam.
sorts.
Are they?
Yeah.
It's a scam. You know, it's one of those
It's a
scams. where they
scam.
Get in here, come on in here. Oh, we're going to take care of you. And then at the end, oh, yeah, here's the bill.
Oh wait, so is this place is known for like bills like this?
It's now known amongst on the travel, like the TripAdvisors and stuff like that. It had that reputation. Now, mind you, it's a nice place, and everyone agrees the food and everything is quite good. However, 2 drinks, 2 crab legs,
Well, yeah.
$600.
My experience was a little bit different. In London, we ordered 2 martinis, and I forget what vodka we ordered, but it was because it was imported. It was we paid $40 for each drink, so it was like, or I think it was it was about an $80 bill for 2 drinks.
Did they wrangle? Did they wrangle you into it?
No, they didn't wrangle. We just
were
ordered.
the prices listed? Obviously,
No, we just they were like, what type of vodka, and we named it, and I forget what it was. And then
give me the $40 kind.
Well, obviously we questioned it after, and they were like, "Well, it's so and so vodka," and we were like, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, you're not in the United States,
Yeah,
so
it's like Tito's or something
like
you
whatever
just you would get here stateside.
We had no idea, so we ended up paying $80 for 2 drinks.
I mean, I've already told the story on the air before, but the when I had we were in that suite at the Eagles game, and I ordered wings.
Yeah.
And what I didn't know is I was basically ordering catering wings. And not only that, but like beers. I mean, we had so much beer. We were handing it out.
Three.
That was a mistake, though.
Servings or whatever it was.
Yeah, that is a mistake. And what I'm curious about is if you do make a mistake like that, and it is a legitimate mistake, and before, say it comes and you're like, oh, I didn't know. I am sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Will they sometimes go,
well, so even so it was a mistake, but not only that, but the menu had prices on it, but even the prices were kind of written in a way that it made it look like it wasn't $500. You know what I mean? It was like, it was like $5 wings or something.
What was the final bill?
It was over $1,000.
Casey had ordered off the catering menu.
I mean, they brought out.
All right, thank you. And don't forget to join Marissa tonight. Bud Light Thursday night kickoff is in Center City this evening. She's going to be at Top Tomato Bar and Pizza, 11th and Sansom, 7 to 9. Stop by because not only are there cool freebies, a chance for you to win, like the Kelly Green MMR t-shirts and koozies and stuff. They have $4 Bud Light cans and drafts, but you can get registered to win a pair of Eagles tickets.
Nice.
That's every Thursday night. So check the details, WMMR.com. But join Marissa tonight, 7 to 9. It's going to be a great event. All right. I would love to. It's such a beautiful day. Let's stroll the campus of the Just Saying Institute this morning.
The Just Saying Institute, home of the Casey Foster Canine Headache Research Center.
God. That was yesterday, right? Do dogs get headaches?
Yeah. I got an email from a guy who says, my dog gets a headache every time I give it, it gets brain freeze when he gives it water ice. I'm like, you give your dog water ice?
All right. So actually some very interesting things in the world of science and medicine that are worth passing along. I'm going to start with this. We had teased this yesterday, but scientists believe intriguing leopard spots on a rock sampled by the Perseverance rover on Mars last year may have potentially been made by ancient life. NASA announced this yesterday. The team has also published a peer-reviewed paper in the journal Nature about the new analysis, though they say further study is needed. And tomorrow, we're going to have Derek Pitts of the Franklin Institute joining us to give us the real details on this. I'm just giving you a little bit of what they had shared yesterday.
So I watched the press conference, or a good chunk of it, and they were basically saying they really spent a lot of time looking at this, researching this, holding this up to the light, and they were left with really no other conclusion than it was the result of life.
Yeah, so the sample, which is called Sapphire Canyon, was collected by the Perseverance rover.
That's a stripper.
From the Sapphire Canyon, yeah.
I remember Christy Canyon.
Remember
her?
I do.
Yeah.
She's trying to make a comeback.
Is she really?
Yeah, believe it or not. I saw that.
We, the members of NASA, would like to announce that Christy Canyon is returning to the center pole. Oh, and there's life on Mars.
Yes.
I think that was the quickest diversion from science to strippers and or porn than we've ever made. So it's a new record for us.
Yeah, so they were collected.
Researchers have just determined that the quickest move from the celestial to porn just took place.
So the sample was collected by the Perseverance rover from rocky outcrops on the edges of the Neretva Valles River Valley. A region sculpted by water more than 3 billion years ago. It was like a billion, actually.
Imagine having Sly give the press conference.
Yeah.
Well, you need to know that the canals and stuff. And we didn't see any guys with like laser guns going, take us to your leader or stuff like that.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
Yeah.
And then you can see your skeleton.
Oh, when you get shot by those
When you
things.
get shot, you're like, it's like a green thing and you can see your skeleton. I saw it once.
Although the sample is safely ensconced in a tube millions of miles away on Mars, scientists have remained intrigued by the rock because of its potential to reveal whether microscopic life ever existed on Mars. Katie Stack Morgan, there's a porn star named Katie Morgan, by the way. We've had her on the show.
God.
Katie Stack Morgan.
She's stacked.
The Perseverance Project scientists at Jet Propulsion Laboratory said the discovery of a potential biosignature or a feature or signature that could be consistent with biological processes, but that requires further work and study to confirm a biological origin is something that we're sharing with all of you today that grows from years of hard work, dedication, and collaboration between over 1,000 scientists and engineers here at NASA and the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and our partner institutions around the country and internationally.
Sample is currently being held at the Peter North Center.
Dude. Shortly after the rock was found, members of the Perseverance science team said that it was exactly the type of rock that they were hoping to find.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is pointed towards this. Obviously, the presence of water.
Yeah.
And other stuff, and you know it's just taking a massive step forward on confirming life in the universe.
And the thing about this too is it's peer reviewed. This goes through a lot of hands.
Looks good to me.
A whole.
It looks good to me.
A whole lot of people work on this type of stuff before they come forward and make an announcement like they did yesterday. So obviously they have more research to do, but they have studied this very, very closely, and they're thinking maybe so.
Unbelievable.
I know.
There's one of the lead scientists there. He's wearing the pocket protector.
Unbelievable. So tomorrow, Derek Pitts on the program. We'll get a little bit more into depth, and he can break it down for us a little bit. So, all right, let's see what else we have. Just Saying Institute. This was pretty wild. I just saw this for the first time this morning. A startup company called Alter Ego has announced what they claim is the world's first wearable device that lets people communicate silently using their thoughts. The device, called Silent Sense, works by detecting tiny muscle signals that the brain sends to the speech system before words are actually spoken.
I just pooped in my pants.
It was
Can you hear that?
Founded by MIT researchers, the company says its headset can help people type at the speed of thought, restore speech for those who have lost it, browse the web silently, translate languages in real time, and have private conversations without making any sound. Talk to each other without physically speaking.
It's pretty amazing, especially for someone who would be in a Stephen Hawking-like situation.
Right.
Then, of course, your mind expands, though. What are the nefarious applications of this?
Yeah.
And all right, so obviously both have to be wearing the apparatus.
You would assume.
How close do they need to be to each other?
I don't know that part
close.
of it. So in demonstrations, the founders showed the device working between people speaking different languages with instant translation. So you could also use it as a communicating device with people who speak other languages. The technology is about 90% accurate, but needs individual training for each user. And unlike brain implants that require surgery, this device is worn around the ears like a hearing aid and uses bone conduction technology. While the concept shows promise, especially for people with speech problems, experts say more independent testing is needed before we know if it really works as advertised or not. But they're saying this group is saying this. So if they're even in the ballpark of this, that means that we are very, very close to, having them be able to really fine-tune something like this and make it a reality. That's insane, man. This blows me away.
There are a never-ending list of applications to this.
Yeah.
I mean, cheating in school could be raised to a whole new level.
God, come on.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So I thought you guys would want to hear about that.
Yes.
Now on to a medical story. A doctor has revealed the concerning side effects of Scrotox medical procedure as searches
I'm having a problem with my nutsack.
are reportedly on the rise, and that's exactly it, Rocky.
It is Scrotox?
Yep. Typically, people get work done because they want to feel more confident by fixing things they don't like about their appearance. And
Are we talking overly dangly nuts?
Scrotox involves injecting Botox into the scrotum. Google searches have shot up 46,000. But why? Mike T., a senior doctor at the Harley Street Skin Clinic, says that around 80% of patients are seeking an aesthetic result rather than addressing a purely medical concern. Yeah, Steve, they want their nuts to look better.
Okay.
Well, I mean, listen, they're ugly. My balls! I don't know how much prettier you can make a nutsack.
my nuts look gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when it comes down to it, I mean,
It's polishing a turd. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing you can do to make a nutsack look good.
no, you got the wrong doctor, Nick.
I mean, we're only speaking from the male perspective here, though. I mean,
Maybe,
I
you know,
think
maybe
I don't
ladies
think so. I
find
think we're
them
covering most
attractive.
perspectives when it's a fairly objective statement to say that nutsacks are not good
One
looking.
day I hope to meet a man with beautiful testicles.
Okay, I would legitimately like to take phone calls
Yeah, yeah.
right now. Are there any women or men, gay men, anyone who is interested in another male as a sexual endeavor? Do you think testicles are attractive? I don't want to hear the people who think they are unattractive because I think most people probably find them unattractive. But are there people listening right now who would like to admit on this very radio show that to you, balls are a turn on? 610-660-9333 is our number. You can text as well,
Yeah.
but I want legit.
Zoom if you want to show us your nuts.
We're only talking about the balls.
Yeah.
The balls.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is Scrotox.
Yeah,
This is what it's about.
balls.
This whole procedure is to make them look more lovely.
You know what? They look for any way to have something to provide a service like that. I mean, what to de-wrinkle your nutsack
Yeah,
is
essentially.
basically it.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so
to a more youthful nutsack.
according to Dr. T, patients usually get it done for at least one of these three reasons. Number one, to reduce wrinkles or creases in the
Yeah.
scrotal skin, making it appear smoother.
All right.
Number two, to treat hyperhidrosis, which is sweating, which causes discomfort or irritation from constant moisture, as well as chafing or skin infections.
I don't suffer from that, but I could see that being something
Yeah.
you might want to get corrected.
And then number three, temporarily increasing scrotal size or sag, because relaxing the muscles allows the scrotum to hang lower. Some people want them to hang lower.
Long-ass
Yeah.
balls.
In adult men, an overactive cremasteric muscle can cause involuntary and frequent tight contractions, which can also be very painful, according to Dr. T.
Wow.
Once again, both physical activity and sexual activity can be affected. It's important to undergo treatment via a qualified doctor to minimize the chances
Yeah.
of anything going wrong.
You don't want to go with some low rent scrotal doctor. Listen, there was a time when anal bleaching did not exist, and now it's a
Yeah.
it's a procedure.
Yep.
So and who would have ever thought that was a necessity?
Yeah. So here are
trying to
some
figure that
things.
out.
You need to go to a qualified doctor to minimize the chances of anything going wrong. Less common, but equally as concerning side effects include asymmetry, as well as allergic reactions such as rashes and dizziness.
For the wrinkle thing, couldn't you simply iron your nuts?
Give it a try.
Yeah. Why not?
There's also a small chance that you could get anaphylaxis, consisting of urinary or sexual dysfunction if the toxin spreads too deeply, according to Dr. T. Yeah. All right, want to go to some calls?
Yes.
Let me go to Heather, first of all. Hi, Heather. Good morning.
I can't believe I'm calling in to talk about balls.
Well, you are.
I threw it out there. So what do you think?
So they're not a complete turnoff, and they're not a complete turn on. They're just cute. You want to hold them, coddle them, pet them, give them a little kiss.
But they kind of fall in the mid-level, correct?
Yes, exactly.
I would assume that would probably be true for most women.
Okay.
Right? That makes sense. Did you know anybody?
sense for me.
Do you know anybody in your sphere, perhaps lady friends, who are massively into testicles?
Not that I'm aware of, but the topic may come up shortly.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate it. I was complimented on mine one time.
Really?
Yes.
By whom?
Yeah, what did he say?
A girl.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And what was the compliment?
They're very big.
There you go. There you go.
All right, I'm not convinced.
Do you want me to show you?
No. I've seen
Not
them.
about
They're
you.
big. They're big.
I'm fairly convinced that your balls are big. I'm
okay.
not convinced that balls are attractive.
Yeah, it was a compliment. I was like, oh,
Okay.
never heard that before.
Yeah.
That was nice. Thank you. I'll take any kind of compliment I can get. Let me go next to Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, guys. I miss you guys so much.
Oh.
I live in Nashville.
Oh, how long have you been gone?
It was 6 years last week,
Okay.
and I'll be back for Phil Abundance because I'm a greeter.
Oh, okay. For the Camp Out for Hunger?
I'm sorry, Camp Out for Hunger.
Yeah.
Let me be straight.
Yep.
Oh, but wait, I just had to, it works, so I have to kind of be quiet.
Okay.
But I love balls.
You do?
Like when you're coddling them and just, like
Coddle is a
around
word.
that region.
Yeah.
That's the
Like,
second
it's a
time
delight.
we've heard that word.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly helps with the whole act, if you will.
Okay, with the whole act, you believe it. But I mean, visually, just on an aesthetic level, do you find them pleasing?
I do.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Very much so, especially if they're well maintained.
And what would constitute a well-maintained nutsack?
Groomed?
Grooming?
Oiled?
I guess non-hairless, Brandy. Oh, sorry, I have a coworker in the background.
Tell her we say hi.
Hairless.
You're talking about
Just,
properly
just
shorn.
like maintain, like
Yeah.
nothing crazy, outlandish.
Okay.
And
Clean.
like, a good size for your hand
Okay.
and your mouth.
Okay. Well, thank you, Michelle. We love you. We have to end this
you.
call
See you
now.
at
Thank you. All
Camp
right, we'll see you.
Tell Nancy we say what up.
I probably shouldn't go to these calls.
All right.
Devin likes them. She says her boyfriend has nice ones.
Okay.
There's an anonymous woman calling in, and she's trying to have kids, and she likes nice. I guess that maybe that
3 testicles.
maybe that's a comparison that women will do. Maybe they think that larger means more fertile.
Generates
it probably
more.
is not true.
I'm here to
but-
tell you that's not true. All right. Bigger does not mean you're going to have babies. All right.
You know this?
I have 3 kids.
Oh, and you have little ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Guys. Like little jelly beans.
Cute little jelly beans.
All right. Well, anyhow, any text messages, Nick? That
Yeah,
are
actually, there was a bisexual guy who texted in and said that ball sacks are yummy.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, okay.
This woman says balls are sexy.
So
Yeah.
to
I stop?
to keep in mind that that this procedure, scrotox, is indeed for some people that want an appearance, and maybe there's a ball sacks are yummy. It's not for naught.
Yeah, listen, the ability for the human for any human to think that there's something about you get so self-conscious about things.
Yeah.
And it's natural, and we all do, and we all have our things. So if this is something that's an issue for you and you can get it treated and would not have any sort of ramifications or medical issues that arise because of the treatment,
Right.
then have at it.
Recovery is typically quick. Most patients return to normal daily activities immediately after treatment. There may be some tenderness and redness in the first 24 to 48 hours, by the way. So, but thank you for your calls. I think Michelle was enough.
Oh, my God.
I like that, but squeeze them.
She was great.
Yeah.
All right. Mosquitoes. I know we're getting towards the end of the season, mosquito season, but I tell you what, lately, sitting outside of my house, in the latter portion, like just within the past couple of weeks, we've been getting dinged by mosquitoes.
Really?
Are they the mosquitoes or gnats or just flying little insects that I don't usually associate with this time of year? I usually think like July, like in the heat of the summer, that's when they hit.
I think things have inverted this summer with the way the weather patterns go. I'll tell you this, and I do legitimately endorse them, but I have found great results with Natural Lawn. And they do a treatment on the lawn. We have not had mosquito issues or any biting insect issues throughout the whole summer.
We've been doing mosquito shield for a long time.
So, countless factors may and may not contribute to the mosquito surge for your blood and over others. And while there's no single answer to the millennia-old question, researchers at Radboud University in the Netherlands think that they've identified at least a couple of influences that may increase your insect attractiveness.
Can I guess number one?
Sure.
Big sweaty balls?
No. Booze and certain nocturnal activities. So while the team study is still in review ahead of its publication, their experiment offers an interesting and possibly life-saving approach to studying mosquito behavior. By the way, mosquitoes are by far the world's deadliest animal.
Yes.
Dangerous diseases like dengue, West Nile, Zika, and malaria. They're responsible for, listen to this, for about 2.7 million deaths every year. Mosquitoes.
Yeah.
By far,
absolutely.
way beyond any other anything in the animal kingdom. Entomologists already know one of the mosquitoes' first tip-offs to potential meal is carbon dioxide exhaled by their unsuspecting hosts as they breathe. That's why a lot of times they're up near your head.
Yeah.
But a litany of additional sensory clues also play a part where the insects land. But previous research suggests that olfactory indicators may be a particularly strong guide for mosquitoes, meaning they pick up a scent. So researchers led by biologist Felix Hull decided to investigate. But instead of asking volunteers to come to their lab, they visited a location known to boost the body's physical responses. They went to an outdoor music festival for 3 days in 2023. He and the colleagues oversaw a pop-up laboratory inside connected shipping containers at Lowlands, which is a musical festival east of Amsterdam. They then asked concert goers to fill out questionnaires about some of their most recent and personal hygiene, diet, and lifestyle decisions.
All right, so these might determine whether or not you're going to attract mosquitoes?
Yep. Roughly 500 music fans volunteered to not only answer the survey, but stick their arms into a custom-designed cage buzzing with hungry mosquitoes.
I always used to hate that commercial.
It was off.
Yeah. The guy would stick his arm into a mosquito tank.
And they would pounce on him. Importantly, none of the participants were in danger of covering their arms with welts. Researchers built the apparatus to feature holes that were tiny enough for the insects to smell a person, but not to pierce their skin. So I don't know how they did that, but they did it. So here it is. They enjoyed, the mosquitoes enjoyed people who enjoyed themselves. Those who drank beer and had sex the night before the experiment were around 1.3 times more attractive to mosquitoes than their sober, abstinent volunteers.
So drunken sluts.
Yeah.
So drunken sluts.
So the endorphins released during...
I don't know. For whatever reason it happened.
I was just talking with Chuck D'Amico about this maybe last week because I was talking about how I think, the pheromones attract these insects. And I think he has them because we would go for these bike rides. I mean, there's a stretch of road between like Anglesey and Stone Harbor. And
it's marshy,
and he would we would be together, and he would get bitten alive by the horseflies, the greenheads and stuff like that.
Yeah, some people attracting you, and Chuck is one of them.
I wouldn't get touched.
Yeah. So my wife Claire will get more nibbled than will I.
I think it's like poison ivy for some people. Like some people get poison ivy worse than others, and there's got to be something in your skin. Or Steve, you mentioned like pheromones or whatever. Like it's just the different chemical makeup where Chuck gets it, you don't, and some people get poison ivy worse than other people.
Now, on the other side of things, the pests were less likely to try snacking on an arm if it had been recently washed and or had sunscreen applied to it as well. So that can actually help a little.
I'm always wearing sunblock, sunscreen, so that's probably an issue as well. Well, there you go.
Yep.
And are we going through what is the mosquito Zika? What is the one that they spray for the mosquitoes? Nile.
West Nile virus. Yeah.
There's
All
an
right.
uptick.
So here we go. Another story from the Just Saying Institute. Gray hair injections that claim to reverse hair color back to its original shade have gone viral on Chinese social media, sparking debate about the effectiveness. The controversial treatment gained attention after Chinese actress Guo Tong posted videos on Douyin about starting injections in June. The treatment involves weekly injections of, and I'll do my best to pronounce this word correctly, it's a long one, adenocyclosilsobalamin, which is a form of vitamin B12. You do it for 3 to 6 months. Traditional Chinese medicine practitioners believe that vitamin B12 can stimulate melanin production to restore hair color. However, dermatologists warn that the treatment's effectiveness hasn't been scientifically proven and potential side effects are unknown. One medical expert explained that while vitamin B12 might help people who are deficient in it, if you're not deficient, it is almost useless for treating gray hair.
So they're making all sorts of inroads with this sort of stuff, and there was a massive study that concluded that when you lose your hair, what's actually happening is that your follicles are going dormant, but they can be reactivated. And so there is some treatment, and I forget the specifics on it, Preston, but apparently it's going to be a game changer.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Despite the lack of scientific evidence, interest in these injections is rising in China after the social media post went viral. So they can't really verify it.
When did you get your first gray hairs? How old are you?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
It first started,
I was in high school.
I think it first started showing up on my beard than my head. I don't remember.
I was very early on.
In high school?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, no, it wasn't until my 40s at least that I started seeing it. So, all right. So we were just talking earlier about watching the show Wednesday.
Yes.
And a new study finds that watching episode after episode or having movie marathons or binge reading books even can make it harder for a story to get out of your head. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It makes us more likely to remember stories, keep engaging them through daydreams and fantasies, and help us get a bigger picture of the story. And also, I was watching, there was a story on this in the elevator this morning. About how it can also help you cope with stress as well. If you're under stress and you want to kind of distract yourself a little bit, you can think about a show you really like.
The comfort food of watching those shows. I mean, there's a lot of people use The Office, or Steve, you did Modern Family.
Yes.
You know, for my wife, it's Seinfeld. Like, people go back to these shows. Parks and Rec is another one. And yeah, it's definitely comfort and gets you out of your head and worrying about stuff that's happening around you.
What was the last show that you had in your head that you couldn't stop thinking about? Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
That you couldn't stop thinking about? I'm currently rewatching Mindhunter for like the third time, and that movie gets in my head, but it's disturbing.
Yeah.
It's not, these aren't pleasant thoughts. What about you?
Untamed on Netflix.
Yeah.
The case you saw it.
Yeah, it's great.
It just is. It's a bunch of wounded people. Takes place in Yosemite, and for days after, I was like, I just find myself thinking about the dynamics of the cast and what they were dealing with. You know, the story, and it spoke to me.
Maybe for me, Walking Dead, when which was a cliffhanger. Well, their first cliffhanger was when Abraham got smashed over the head by Lucille, and then when Glenn's eye popped out.
Yeah,
that one stuck with me for a long time.
Marissa, are you a binge watcher? Are there shows that you dive into? And
I used to be. I was Simpsons, Seinfeld, The Office. But I think there's so much new content that I resist going back and watching things I've already watched.
Okay.
Like I used to love watching movies. Like I grew up watching TNT or TBS where you would just watch the same movies over and over. And I think I did that so much that I just enjoy the new.
Okay.
But I mean, the same thing. You can binge watch those as well. I mean, they don't have to have 10 seasons.
No.
Dr. Joshua Baldwin, lead study author and media psychology researcher, says binge watching helps us build mental worlds where stories continue long after the credits roll, which can help us in stressful times. They said people who have the habit of binge watching shows often aren't doing it passively, but are actually actively thinking about it afterwards, and they're very much wanting to engage with stories even when they're not around to watch the shows. Researchers point out that the effects of binge watching need to be studied further, but the positives and negatives may come down to the person and why they're watching.
It was a disagreement I had with Kathy. Kathy did not understand rewatching stuff over and over again, and I just rewatched Ted Lasso all 3 seasons, and I pick up on stuff that I missed the first time around. When I watch something for the first time, I get caught up on the plot. I get caught up on like what's going to happen in this particular episode, or where a season's going to go. When I rewatch something, I pick up on subtle things that I didn't see the first time around, or something that happens later in that season that they reflect upon early in the episode. I love little subtle things like that are intentional and deliberately written in.
Do you know what's a bizarre thing with me concerning that, Nick, is I've literally seen movies 150 times.
Right.
I'll watch over and over and over again, and yet I don't do that as much with TV. Now, obviously, like Star Trek or some other things I will, but there's really no difference to the mechanism or that. Some reason I'm more reticent to jump in and watch a whole season of a show I've already watched.
I'm more apt to I'm more likely to watch a movie that I know over and over again. And like, I was going through Netflix yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, Stand By Me is available on Netflix. I can't wait to watch that. I've seen it 200 times, maybe more. You know what I mean? But like, there's just something soothing and comforting about it.
Yes, it's comfort food.
And not only that, like, it's something that I don't mind falling asleep to. You know what I mean? Because I've already seen it a million times.
I love how you plan on shows and movies to watch to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
It cracks me. I can't do that.
No, me neither.
No.
My favorite show of all time is Cheers, and somebody pointed out to me a year or so ago that there are a lot of Cheers references in Ted Lasso. So when I rewatched Ted Lasso, I picked up on stuff that I didn't notice the first time around, and like that to me was comforting.
Here's the thing that's difficult about rewatching a show. It is, and it's a show you love. It's just the beginning. That's it. Because once you're in 1 or 2 episodes, it's like, oh, now I remember why I loved this show. And that's why we have rewatched Stranger Things, all 4 seasons, 4 times through now. Because it's awesome. And I watched all of Game of Thrones 3 times. That's 8 seasons. I watched that whole thing 3 times over.
Yeah, Nick, I got a question for you, because there was a blatant Cheers reference in Ted Lasso. I can't remember what it was, but somebody says to Ted Lasso, Cheers, and then he says something back. He says another TV show back.
Frasier or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
In the very last episode, there's a portrait of Geronimo on the wall, and May in the bar says, thank you. And the very next scene and the very next line that's uttered is Trent, the writer.
Trent Krim.
Trent Krim. He's the writer, and he says, thank you. So it goes, I'm sorry, he goes, thank you, and then Trent says, cheers. So it's Bill Lawrence saying, thank you, cheers. And it's a nod, but I completely missed it the first time around, and then I paid attention to the second time. You know what's funny, Preston, about TV shows is that, and rewatching them, the first season of The Office is not great. The first season of Parks and Rec is really not great at all. Some of these shows, first season of Cheers is okay.
Yeah.
But some of these shows, it takes time for them to build. First season of Seinfeld's pretty off.
Yeah.
But
Seinfeld didn't click in until the 3rd season.
Yeah. So a lot of them, you can kind of not skip the first season, but knowing that it's not great and having patience then to get to the great, I think is sometimes worth it.
Yep. All right. But anyhow, binge watching can be not such a bad thing. And Steve, you were asking, I just thought of something, and then we'll have to wrap up, but about what show I've gotten stuck in my head lately. Lately, it's been video games.
Video games?
Like if you play a game long enough, you can't stop thinking about it.
See what happens in video games, if you, for the uninitiated, you get to actually walk around in those worlds.
Yeah.
And so, especially if you're doing an RPG or be a part of it, and you will... Yeah, they'll get inside your every waking second. Like, I know there's something past that door. If I were to move that stone.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think they will have like a video game, let's just call it a tournament at the Sphere in Vegas? Like, could you imagine?
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, they have VR games. It's essentially the same thing, but just on a
right.
smaller scale.
I don't know. Conceivable.
Yeah, maybe they can format something like that. All right, listen, we've enjoyed our time expanding our minds at the Just Saying Institute. We've got to wrap it up right now.
We learned a lot.
Yeah, we did. So we're going to take a quick break and come back in a moment. I have some bizarre file stories I think you're going to dig into, as well as music from Breaking Benjamin as we continue the back to school A to Z in the S's. We'll be right back.
Orders of wings. And they were like, well, why don't we just bring out one order? They said
$1,000.
Yeah. Wow, 2 orders.
And did
Didn't happen here in 5 or 6 years. Haven't seen anybody.
well, so that's the thing. They were like, why don't we bring out one orders, and if you need any more, we can bring out more, because there was only 5 of us in this entire suite. I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. And when they brought out that one order of wings, and it was in a giant chafing dish, I was like, oh, yeah, we don't need all of these. And then they're bringing out, when we ordered like a beer, they brought out a bucket of beer.
Did you pay the bill?
So we were able to talk them down a little bit, and so the manager had to come out, and I said, listen, the way this is written on the menu, it makes it, I thought this was $10.
Put your mother on the phone.
Preston, so the name of this place in Mykonos is called the DK Oyster Bar.
Yes.
And I brought up, and you mentioned in the B file, the people go to TripAdvisor to rip on this place. They do. And so I want you, Preston, to just read these as I scroll through. All
right, the top one is the one from the story I just recounted. Here's another one. A scam waiting to happen on the unsuspecting masses of vacationers heading their way heading their way. The waiters tried selling us food. Each kept giving us different prices. We kept to drinks after hearing about the bad reviews. Another one says, I went to this place on a family vacation and was left horrified and ripped off. Asked several times for the prices. The waiters kept telling me it was cheap and not to worry. The bill was over 400 euros for a couple of badly made drinks.
I mean, it's 1 star after 1 star after 1 star. I feel robbed.
So that's the scam.
Are extremely intimidating, especially when questioning the bill. These people are a bunch of scam artists. I really wish I read more reviews before coming here. Wow. This one says, we were lured to dine at their restaurant by friendly, pushy waiters offering us comfort in the sun.
Oh, so this is a full-on scam.
Yeah, we were then pushed into ordering food from menus without prices, but the waiters seemed so energetic, smiling, impatient that we felt obliged not to be a nuisance. Long story short, we, a family of 6, paid almost as much for this one meal of our vacation as we did the entire hotel stay of 5 days.
Jesus.
And I can't see how the prices they charge are warranted. I'll never be coaxed off of the beach again into any establishment without reading the reviews first.
Anytime somebody's like forceful like that, you know.
Yes.
Something's
I don't
gonna
like that
happen.
approach. I hate that approach. I never get suckered in on that crap.
My sister and I went to Paris. I was only 18 years old, and she was she's 4 years older than me, and there were high pressure people on the street, trying to get you into places,
into these various places.
Yeah, one of them was live sex on stage. I kid you not, it was in the red light district. Live sex on, and I go, dude, and this guy spoke English, and he thought, oh, you guys are Americans. Wow. So he started giving us the hard sell. And I go, dude, it's my sister. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
So, come on, man. You got to come on in.
This is a good way to bond with your sister. You watch a 69 on stage. Or Swiss Nerf.
Las Ramblas in Barcelona is a little bit like that, where they're coaxing you into the different restaurants and stuff like that. But I ordered, if you go to a good restaurant or not, a place that's not going to scam you, I ordered a bottle of champagne, and the guy, the price wasn't on the menu, one of those. And
Be leery when there's no price that you can see written down.
But a lot of times they don't list the prices, and I had it before, and it wasn't like some astronomical bottle. But the guy came over and he said, I just want to let you know. This whatever version of what it was like $400. He said, so I just want to make sure you know what you're ordering. That's what a good restaurant's going to do. And that's when I was like, okay, no, thank you. I thought it was the regular bottle.
Then you go, did you look like I can? Do I look like I can't afford a $400 bottle of wine?
I must look like some sort of hooker.
No,
Casey.
I was like, you're right. I'm not paying $400 for a bottle of champagne.
Casey, when they brought out the $1,000 plus, did you say, how much without the buffalo sauce?
Well, here, going to Casey's story, Jessica has one similar. Hi, Jessica. Good morning.
Good morning. I just wanted to tell Casey, don't stress out, because I did the same thing. We went to Disney on Ice a couple of years ago, and we had 5 kids with us, and we were like, oh, can we get 5 orders of chicken tenders, 5 orders of French fries? And they brought back 5 chafing dishes of chicken tenders and French fries.
Oh my God.
And they gave me a bill for $1,600.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
I almost jumped out of the balcony.
But Jessica, let me ask you, were there enough people in that suite to finish even one of those orders of chicken fingers?
There was 7 of us.
Yeah.
And my oldest at the time was 7 years old. I had 4 little kids.
The fact that you listen,
same exact thing.
But I mean, is there a listing for an individual serving of chicken?
No,
no,
there's
but
a little paper menu on the thing, and it's there's no prices, and it's chicken tenders, French fries, fried shrimp, whatever.
So
I'm like, oh, let me get 5 orders. And at first they brought out 1 chafing dish of French fries and 1 of chicken nuggets. And I was like, well, that makes sense. For room, they just put it all in one big tray, whatever.
Right.
And then they came back 4 more times.
Oh, my
And I was
God.
like, what is going on? This is our, we paid $1,000 for this suite for Disney on Ice to begin with. And they were like, oh no, this is all you ordered. And I was like, oh, well, then we have a problem.
Yeah, we have a major problem. And that's this is the for them. That's the thing for these, the servers. That's the norm. So
well, they're used to providing food for a suite. However, if there's 7 people, like with Jessica's situation, and one of them is a kid, and you says, "Are you sure you want a $250,000 chicken fingers?"
Yeah, you have to explain. This is an entire dish that you're
Chafing
ordering.
dish.
Do you like even with yours, Casey? They should have explained to you, like her saying, "Okay, let's start off with one." Well, you didn't know what that meant. Like there should be. Hey, are you?
All right,
you
so
understand that there's
250,000 fingers and 51,000 French fries.
Jessica, did you get the money thing worked out with them?
I cried and cried and cried and cried, and they took 4 of them off because we didn't touch them, and I refused to touch them. But it was still $200 in chicken nuggets and French fries.
Oh my God!
4 little kids,
especially when you went the extra mile to get the thing and take the kids to see Disney on Ice, which I'm sure you were riveted by.
You get a week's worth of chicken fingers to take home with you.
Right.
But the thing is, you feel like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like
you do.
How did
you
I
feel
not
embarrassed.
know?
Yep.
You feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
You feel like, and listen, all the time there, like whenever I encounter the people, the wait staff, they're awesome. Like they'll hook you up and they'll take care of you. But there should be perhaps a little bit better delineation between an individual, if they even offer an individual side,
Jessica.
and chafing dish.
And I had something similar, and I don't want to say where I was, but I went in to have a service done, and I was expecting one price, right? So I went in, and so I ended up getting quoted this price that was basically 3 times as much as I had anticipated.
Right.
And I was so embarrassed that I couldn't pay it.
Yeah.
That I was like, okay, well, hang on to, and so they still have my stuff.
I use my mouth on you.
But I was like, oh, all right.
Did they do the service?
So there were 3 things that I needed serviced. I asked for them to service the cheapest one of the 3. I go, okay, hang on to everything, and then when I come back and pick this up, I will.
Why don't you just go get it and say no thanks?
So I ended up sending an email to somebody else, because I dealt with somebody online. The person that I dealt with at the store was different. So then when I went home, I finally got the balls to go, I can't pay this. I don't want, And so I emailed the person. I'm like, listen, this is what I thought was, and I was too embarrassed to say something and just walk away with my product.
I sent them a note like, crayon, this is my house. I cannot afford this.
But I was. So and that's what it really boiled down to, was just me being too embarrassed to say, it's too
Do you think they were being?
me.
Do you think they were being predatory to you? Do you
No,
think they
no.
Were, okay, you just got confused.
I just got confused, and I didn't know, going into it. The other problem is when you want to find out how much something costs, the internet doesn't really help you with that sort of stuff.
Right,
You're like, how much should this cost? And then it's like, well,
we don't know.
We don't know.
You know where this happens actually a lot is the nail salon. So I was sitting in a nail salon and I watched them. Do you want this new type of manicure? And the girl was like, okay, well, what is it? And there's a little bit of a language barrier. Yeah. So they do their best to explain it to her. And she's like, all right, yeah, that sounds fine. Great. Comes with a little extra massage, whatever. And I was still there when she checked out, and it was a $200 manicure she got.
Well,
she goes, what do you mean $200? And they were like, well, we did whatever the nail polish was and this and that. And she was like, absolutely not. She goes, it took you the same amount of time to do my nails as if I were to get a regular manicure. If it was a 3-hour-long manicure and there was more time that went into it, but what
was their reaction?
She refused to pay it. She said, I am not paying this. She said, you can call the cops. You can do what you want. I am not paying you for this. And they did eventually just charge her what she would have normally paid when she, went in there on a normal basis to get a regular manicure.
I also, I just got a text. I was reminded, same thing happened with dog grooming. And so
dog grooming's expensive.
Well, and I know
if you
that.
don't know that. Yeah.
And I know that, and I know going in, but I'd gone in the last time, and my dogs were a little hairier, a little bit more matted.
Like their butt hair removed as well, please?
Steve, these guys charge me hundreds of dollars
Really?
more than what I'm used to paying. They charged me a matting fee, and they just shaved it off anyway.
What was the final charge?
It was like, hon, can you text me and let me know? Because it was somewhere in the neighborhood of like somewhere between $300 to $500.
Oh my God!
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
It was two dogs.
And they're your big dogs.
Two big dogs.
Yeah.
And Reggie doesn't do well with the dryers.
Right.
He gets like really anxious. He's not nasty. But he's also 80 pounds.
Right.
So that's why I was kind of like, okay, it is what it is, and But I just, I was like, but I was too embarrassed to go. I'm not paying this.
Right.
That's way too much. And then and I don't know what it. When you just say it's a matting fee, but then you just shave over it anyway. I'm like, what's the difference if you're, there might be a big difference. I don't know. I'm not a dog.
It's very pricey. It seems extraordinary. I mean, even for your dogs, that's ridiculous.
Here's a text says, went out in Amman, Jordan, one time and ended up with a $3,000 US dollar bill that I had to argue down to $1,500 in Arabic, surrounded by a bunch of Jordanian thugs. He said everything is negotiable in the Middle East. It was a gentleman's club, and we were paying for the, quote, the girls' time and their $50 drinks. We didn't even get an effing OTPHJ out of the three of us. And so they had to argue $3,000. Wow.
That's insane.
Hang on a second. There was, here's one that says, hey guys, everyone should know that if they're in a foreign country, unlike America, if there's bread or anything else on the table, when you sit down, you'll get charged for it.
Yeah.
That does happen. Yes, I have heard of that.
Yeah. And when
so if it seems complimentary because it's sitting out, you need to be aware that you might have.
And as they point out with this place that started this place that Mykonos, they actually there is a menu online with the prices that are nothing like what this mother and daughter were charged for 2 crab's legs and 2 mojitos.
Yeah. Hang on, I want to go to John. Hey, John. Good morning.
Hey guys, Gadzooks.
Gadzooks, what's up, buddy?
So quick story, similar to Casey, just being not sure of something. My wife, it was her birthday. She's also about to give birth to our second boy. This was about 4 years ago. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to take you out to a jewelry store. You pick anything you want. Mm-hmm. And I am a man of modest means. My wife is a person of modest means.
Right.
And so we go to the jewelry store. The lady was super nice. She's like, oh, let's look at this, look at this. And my wife was like, I would like earrings. So she takes us to display case. I'm wearing like mesh shorts and a T-shirt. So, she takes us to the case. My wife puts it on. She looks great. My wife then goes, you know what? I really don't. I asked the lady. I was like, how much is it going to be? She was like, $3 to $5. I was like, oh, okay. And then my wife's like, oh, I really don't feel too good. Let's just leave. So we walk out of the store and I go, Ray, are you okay? And she's like, those earrings she showed you? And I was like, yes. She was like, that was $3,000 to $5,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she knows, my wife knows, and it's a similar thing that you guys are talking about, being embarrassed. She knows that I would have been so embarrassed, I would have paid it. I would have been like, here you go. Yep.
That's the worst when you listen and you're a hardworking person and you're there and you want to, and then when you have to really, and they do that on purpose a lot of times, they really hide the price and they make it small. So I'm just very over it. I want to see look at the price tag and say, this is what I'm looking for. You won't waste your time and you won't waste their time.
Thank you, Marissa. Our friends from the Piccalilli Inn are here with us this morning. The beautiful Bonnie, owner of the restaurant, brought in some stuff we've never had before from the Pick, by the way.
This is awesome.
So she brought in these chicken sliders with this Asian slaw, which are fantastic, just tried. And my mouth is going to be watering during the Bizarre File because there's something I've never seen before. These are like cornbread muffins.
Go on.
Nick, they are stuffed with chili.
I'll see you later.
And cheese on top, sour cream, chives, or scallions.
Okay.
Boom. So that's new. But we have $50 gift cards to give away to the Piccalilli Inn, which, by the way, you'll find them in Shamong, New Jersey. On Route 206. So We'll take call number 18, 610-660-9333. Call right now. You will get the $50 gift card to the Pick. On game day, make sure you take a trip to the newly remodeled Piccadilly Inn, South Jersey's King of the Wing, and you can order carry out for all the games. Visit pickadilly.com. So call right now. We'll do the Bizarre File while you're doing that.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors. Other deals might sound bigger, but quality matters. You can save now at Pella with 40% off installation or 0% APR for 24 months. PellaPhilly.com. Well, a man was arrested and charged with a federal crime last weekend after allegedly leaping off of a Royal Caribbean cruise ship near Puerto Rico to avoid paying more than $16,000 in a gambling debt to the cruise line.
I saw this. It's crazy. Miracle he's not dead.
Jay Gonzalez Diaz jumped into the water near the port of San Juan after the ship's return voyage from Barbados.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Diaz fled the ship during a U.S. Customs and Border Protection inspection. Video surveillance captured the moment that he was rescued and brought to shore by someone who was passing by on a jet ski.
Now you're wet and owe $16,000.
Officers later located Diaz near the Puerto Rico Capitol building. When he was found, he was carrying $14,600 in cash, 2 phones, and 5 IDs. He was accused of attempting to avoid monetary reporting requirements when traveling into the U.S. Royal Caribbean told investigators that Diaz had booked his cruise ticket under the name Jeremy Diaz and that he owed $16,710 almost exclusively associated to casino and gaming expenses.
5 separate IDs.
Yeah, and he could face a fine of up to $250,000 or a maximum 5-year prison sentence. Wow. A Florida woman was convicted of choking her mother and grabbing her brother by the testicles in an argument spurred by a missing PlayStation 4 game.
Wow, well, we've been there.
A jury last week convicted 21-year-old Alexander Dominguez on charge of domestic battery by strangulation and battery after deliberating for just 20 minutes.
Gosh, your testicles are so big and smooth.
Dominguez followed her mother and brother from a park to their home to grab the PlayStation 4. The victims told Dominguez to wait outside so they could get the game console and give it to her. When they handed it over to her, she became irate over a missing game. A verbal argument began just outside the front door, quickly turned physical. Dominguez first attacked her mother, grabbed her by the throat. The mother ran inside, but Dominguez chased her and pushed her onto the couch. She then put her hands around the mother's throat and choked her for about a minute. The brother tried to intervene, but Dominguez grabbed his groin and squeezed and pulled on the hair on his beard.
Okay, be honest.
Come on.
Yeah. What game will you choke your mother out for?
Oh, I'd have to think about that. There's so many good ones.
Sniper Elite, probably.
Sniper Elite is my favorite, so yeah. Dominguez was eventually removed from the home, but she continued to pound on the front door. She drove back to her home in Naples, but cops arrested her, and sentencing date has not been set as of yet. Well, it's a moment more than 100 years in the making. For generations, a Texas firefighter's family tree has been filled exclusively with sons. Over 100 years.
That's amazing.
But that century-long streak came to an end after the family learned that a daughter is on the way. The last time the Sherman family said they had a girl born into their family was 108 years ago.
That's pretty wild.
Isn't that?
Daughters?
On Sunday, surrounded by family and friends, Michael Sherman and his wife, Jaquina Sherman, found out they were expecting a baby girl. Sherman said, "I just feel honored. We are the ones bringing the baby girl into the world. Finally, after over 100 years, it's amazing." The last girl to bear the Sherman name was Ora Bell Sherman, Michael's great-great-aunt, born in 1917.
Wow.
Yeah.
We had something similar in our family. There was one McElwain woman born over 8 generations.
Wow.
Yeah, my grandfather, Ed, my dad's dad, had a sister. She was the only one over 8 generations. And then my brother, Adam, the middle brother of me and my brothers, had a daughter 5 years ago, Janie, and she was the first McElwain woman girl born in several generations.
It's amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, the woman born in 1917, Sherman said she was a trailblazer in Atlanta, and she was involved in civil rights. She met a lot of civil rights leaders, and she made an impact in Atlanta.
invented Flex Seal.
The family said They are now excited to see what the newest Sherman will do with her life. And when she comes into that world, they'll find out. The baby is due in March, by the way.
That is pretty wild.
In Las Vegas, a 20-year-old woman who police say had a fascination with guns is accused of shooting and killing her boyfriend while posing for photos with a firearm last month.
You've had a couple of stories recently like this.
Alessandra Blee, 20 years old, faces a charge of open murder in the death of Mark Guggen, who was 23. The Las Vegas police received a 911 call about an accidental shooting in the city's Northwest Valley. Responding officers learned that Guggen was taking photos of two women, including Blee, who was posing with a gun when the firearm discharged, striking Guggen, and he died from a gunshot wound shortly after. Police located Polaroids from the photo shoot showing one woman holding a knife in her hand and Blee lying back on the other woman holding a black firearm that was pointed at her mouth with the finger on the trigger. Another photo showed Blee holding the firearm in her left hand with her finger on the trigger. Witness described Guggen as Blee's boyfriend and said Guggen had brought the gun to a gathering earlier in the evening and believed it was empty. Other witnesses, including Blee, told police the group was drinking before she and the other woman decided to take the photos. Now, she stated that it was an accident, admitted she had never taken any firearm safety courses, and believed the firearm didn't have a bullet in the chamber. She was adamant that she did not intentionally kill Mark. But apparently her social media accounts determine that she has a fascination with firearms. In several conversations with various accounts, there was talk about her love of shooting guns, owning guns, building her arsenal, and shooting people in the face. And there were several photographs of her holding various firearms, handguns, revolvers, and rifles in different poses, including the firearm pressed against her head, against stuffed animals' heads, and shooting bottles at an unknown location. She also had a bullseye target tattooed on her chest. In a conversation, she reportedly commented, "I wish I could shoot people with real guns and get away with it." So the death has been ruled a homicide.
Yeah, it seems that way now.
All right, and there you go. Sorry to end on that one, but that's all we have time for in the Bizarre File this morning. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a moment. Our buddy Brad Williams, who's going to be in the new Spinal Tap movie, is going to be joining us in a little bit. And then we'll have actor Tony Goldwyn on, and our chef friend Brian Duffy is popping in. We got a bunch to get to, along with the back to school A to Z. We'll return in a moment.
But it is a little weird when you're like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, dude. And I remember in my earlier years of wandering into a higher fashion store
Oh,
or
my
higher
God.
end jeweler, like a big name like Cartier or Tiffany, and starting to, shop for something Rochelle, and then they get to the price, and I'm like,
yeah,
and
you're
then-
like Steve Martin. The head turns.
Yeah, you have to try to play off the
Stir crazy.
Yeah.
$1,000.
But it tests.
I gotta find that.
It tests your composure.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be embarrassed.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
When I bought Claire's the engagement ring, and there's a place in New York called Fortunoff's, and I'm like,
this was pre-Steven Singer days.
Pre-Steven Singer.
Wait, Fortunoff's sold diamonds? I thought it was like
It was actually
costume jewelry.
in Long Island. It was known as the jewelry store. This is if only I had Steven Singer at the time.
Wait, no, wait. No, sit.
I was sweating bullets because you're just getting started, and you want to make sure that you also want to do something that she's going to like, and at least be able to show her friends.
Yeah.
And I remember going in there, and fortunately the person was very kind. Again, and we're not saying it just because it's, he's an advertiser, but it's the truth. It's the Steven Singer experience is a lot better. And they get this. They get that you're going to work within your budget, and that means all the difference in the world.
I remember asking a dentist because I had to get some sort. It had to have been a root canal or something like that. And I was like, well, so I was presented with options, and I was like, well, how much does a root canal cost?
It's going to be some money.
He wouldn't tell me.
What?
Wait, no, wait.
Somebody in that office knows how much a root canal costs. Can somebody please tell me? how much this is going to cost, so I know.
Honestly, and it's the truth. And I implore you, you are the customer. You have no. Do not feel bad. Whatever your means,
ask.
you're in there to give business to these people.
Yeah, you're entitled to that information.
You're entitled to that information.
Yep.
And if they seem secretive about it, leave.
Let me go to Chris. He wants to comment on the dental thing. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Yoo-hoo.
He just knew he prompted.
It's too early. I couldn't do it.
What's up, Chris?
First of all, I thought when I was on the phone I was dying because I heard an angel speaking to me, and I was like, "Oh, it's Marissa." I love Marissa. When she's on, it's an A+ show all the time.
Oh, there you go. We'll let Bill Weston know that.
Yeah.
All right, well, quit hitting on her and tell us your story, please.
Well, Casey was saying about the dental. Yeah, be careful because these smaller offices are being bought out by larger ones, and they're pushing stuff out. My friend went on, and they tried pushing all this stuff on her, and she's like, I don't even need it. Like
Zoom whitening and stuff like that, or
tongue whitening.
And years ago, somebody went in for a procedure, and they came out. They got 10 teeth taken out, and none of them were needed because they're
that's not a good dentist.
Money.
Yeah, that's
dentist. Bottom line, you go into the dentist and they remove 10 teeth that they don't have to take out. That's not a good dentist.
While you're here for the cleaning, what about I remove all your teeth?
Yeah.
It's
we have
easy to-
audio of a guy who just got that done.
Wait, no.
Well, they're going to make the case that cleaning them is easier when you can take them out and put them in a washing.
Anybody think about that?
My friend had a medical procedure done, and they were telling her your insurance is likely not going to cover all of it. And she was like, okay, well, we're not going in. Like, you're not putting me under. We're going in for this until I know around how much. And she said they could not, or they wouldn't give her a price. And she was like, we're not doing this till you give me a price.
Yeah. All right. Let me go to Mike. He had an interesting situation one time. Hey, Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
I was in Lauderdale with my wife on vacation, and we were at a resort that had a golf course attached to it. I wanted a cigar. So I go into the pro shop, and they have this nice selection of cigars. I go, oh, let me grab this one. It was like a Davidoff Robusto. I clip the end, walk to the register, and the woman says, that'll be $65. My wife looks at me and goes, you better enjoy that cigar, man.
And you were committed. You had to buy it. You had no choice.
I was so committed, man. I had all but lit it. I mean, the end was clipped, and I'm just looking at it like.
Look,
once you've done that, you bought it.
Mike was going to ask for a roach clip for that thing. He can smoke it all the way down.
I put my cheek and gum to get it all.
Dude.
Thanks, Mike.
That's crazy.
Oh, my God. All right.
My sister-in-law is from Greece, and so she texted me, and she said, I still will never understand why Americans go to that side of Greece. She said, it's all like this.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so there needs to be like an insider tourist information hub to tell you to avoid that type of thing. Wow, it's a big time scam. All right, well, listen, thanks for your calls. We appreciate it. We do need to take a break. I would like to, because we got Tony Danza coming up, I would like to give away, do me a favor, Chris on line one, have him hang on. Chris is on hold for a long time. I didn't get to go to him and see if he wants some tickets to go to see the Bob's Burgers movie. And I'll take two other callers as well. It's a screening tomorrow night at UA King of Prussia, 7 o'clock. 215-263 WMMR from 20th Century Pictures. The Bob's Burgers movie hits theaters May 27th. So we'll give away the last of our passes now. We're going to take a break, come back in a second. Don't forget Tattoos Day today. So text word tattoo 39333. Might win a Preston and Steve themed tattoo from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. We'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Coming up a little later on this morning, we are going to talk to Jeopardy champion, current champion, Ryan Long, who's from the area.
Doing Philly proud?
Yep, he's from Mount Airy, so born in Philly and moved to Ben Salem at the age of 9. We know a little bit about him, but we're going to find out more when we talk to him around 9 o'clock.
Oh, he's from Bucks County. He's so smart.
He's so smart,
Yeah, I
so
figured.
intelligent. So
He's not from Bucks County. He's from Philadelphia.
But he moved there at
I like how
9
you're
where he
not
got
from
his
Bucks County.
education.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll have this
Well,
little
have him tell
debate
us.
with
Yeah.
him later on this morning. But in the meantime, I saw this article. I thought it was very interesting, and it was essentially a forum. People had shared their stories of rules that were put in place because of them.
Oh, okay. I like
So
this.
You did something, and whatever you did from there on, there was a rule. This is, you can't do that anymore. And I was picking my brain, and I know it's had to have happened to me. I know I've done something before with
You've
this.
caused a rule to be implemented.
I'm sure. Somewhere in school, but I can't remember what. But I
kind of think you probably did, but
maybe something will come to me. But I have some examples, and I would love to hear your stories if you had a similar incident take place. So I'll start with this one, where a person wrote in that my brother and I got into a cattle prod sword fight at a farm store. We shocked the hell out of each other a few times, and now they have the cattle prods locked up. We were in our 30s when this happened.
Oh, my God.
So they made a rule at the store that you could no longer take out the cattle prods. Another one says, I put a croissant in one of those hotel conveyor toasters, and it soon became engulfed in flames and had to be extinguished. The next day at breakfast, there was a sign that said, if you'd like your croissant toasted, please ask a staff member. So they put up a rule after that. Here's one, definitely that had some lasting power to it, I'm sure. This says, as a kindergartner, I once fell asleep in the bus. I was on the bus, and when I woke up, the bus was in the garage.
It's happened.
I had to yell to get to someone to get me out. So to this day, every bus driver in my school district needs to walk to the back of the bus and check every seat before they park the bus.
This has been in the news a few times where they've had kids and the bus driver failed to do that. And there was a kid sleeping in the back seat.
Yeah, I think that's pretty standard, though.
Yeah.
For bus
So
drivers.
this-
They're supposed to anyway.
This probably happened a long time ago.
right.
They made that rule. Here's another one. It says, in my high school history class, there were about 10 of us who were really close friends. And we take every opportunity to make your mom jokes. And a couple of months into class, the teacher made us sign a treaty promising to stop making fun of each other's moms. We signed
That's
it,
funny.
and then we started making fun of each other's dads right after. I like this one a lot, too. It says, a friend of mine in a military school found out the regulations never stated what color the bed sheets for a bed made for inspection had to be in. So this man went and bought Power Ranger sheets and made the perfect regulation bed. And I've never seen so many sergeants lose their cool, but be unable to actually do anything since the regs were perfectly followed.
That's great.
Needless to say, the next year's regulations were updated to state that sheets must be plain white. So they absolutely changed the rule altogether at a military school. Let me go to Kenny. Hey, Kenny, good morning.
Rocky Road.
Rocky Road.
Well done. Kenny, what's going on?
Hey, good morning, guys. So I used to work at Tower Records, open until midnight. And we were basically allowed to play any tunes we wanted on the stereo. And I was a practical joker, and I decided that Animal Wasp was a great idea.
All right.
To play through the entire store. And if you know the song, it's not a good idea. So the manager was right there, came out screaming, and he said, now here's a short stack of CDs you guys can only listen to. And no, nothing good there.
So he took this broad policy and you caused it to be refined down to a selection of sort of neutral music.
Yeah, a lot of Steely Dan in there.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not Wasp.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Thanks,
hilarious.
Kenny. Yep. Rule changed because of you. Let me go. You guys will know this one. Let me go to Stoney. Hi, Stoney. Good morning. Oh, my Wow. You sound like you hurt yourself on that one, Stoney. What's up, bud?
Yo, what's up, man? You guys know me. I'm the sled builder. I'm the one that almost killed Pierre.
Yes, from the Cardboard Classic.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
And because of that, you guys don't allow us to use fireworks. Not allowed to ride on the second floor.
Right.
Yeah. I also built the big wheel, or a buddy of mine built it. We're not allowed to roll down a hill anymore.
That's right.
You are the reason
Dude, that was
for
great.
a lot of rolls.
Had to do a lot of refinements, and if you ask, is it a good idea, just ask Mr. Peanut.
Yes. Yeah, so Stoney was the cause of rules being changed at the Cardboard Classic. Multiple rules being changed.
Multiple rules.
Yeah. Nice job, Stoney.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, bud. We'll see you next
Thank
year.
you. Have a good one, guys.
You too.
I have one that's slightly embarrassing, and Steve, you'll have a field day with it. I had a job when I was pretty poor. When I was 21 years old, my job was to drive around Enterprise cars, and I didn't have any money. And so there was a Mercedes dealership where I would drop off cars and pick up cars. And at that Mercedes dealership, they would offer up free breakfast for their customers. But I was also hungry in the morning, and so I would avail myself to the bagels and the coffee that they had out for their paying customers. And
where did the food go?
Well, I didn't take all of the food. I just took enough for me. No, not a lot. Shut up.
All right, thank you very much, Marissa. Our next guest is not going to be in town till October, but we need to talk to him now. Because he's in the new Spinal Tap movie.
Yeah.
And we were watching some clips this morning, and I'm excited. It's going to be star-studded as well.
Yeah.
Just loads of cameos in this movie. And he's included an important part in a live concert portion of the song Stonehenge, which is, wait, where do I have it? That's not Stonehenge. That's Stonehenge. I mean, come on, man. Come on. I can't wait for this. Please welcome our friend Brad Williams this morning.
Guys.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Wonderful. I'm in Beaumont, Texas, so of course my life is great.
Beaumont.
Beaumont. Is that near anywhere bigger than Beaumont? Is it near a big city?
You know what? Already talking about size, I'm a little triggered this morning. But so yeah, I'm doing a show out here in Beaumont, but I will be in the Philadelphia area October 17th. I'll be at the Parks Casino in Bensalem.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to talk about that because that show is really almost sold out. Anyway, I'm here to talk about Spinal Tap too.
Yeah.
That's right. This is the classic rock station. You guys just played so far away from me. You guys know about great music. Every person listening to this has seen the original, and I'm in it. I'm in the sequel. I'm back, as you said. I'm for a while they said don't tell anyone what you're doing in the movie, and I'm like, well, I'm a dwarf. It's not hard to figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah,
you've seen the original,
right.
so.
Right.
This is one of those really cool movies that I'm really just honored to be a part of. I know we're having a bit of a nostalgia fest with like the Happy Gilmore 2s and all those cameos. But yeah, so you are correct. There are tons of cameos, but our cameos are from people like a Sir Paul McCartney. Like a Sir Elton John. There's a Garth Brooks, there's a Dave Grohl, and then, by the way, there's me and Wee Man. And here's what I love. Here's what I love about being in a movie with Wee Man is people will finally figure out we're not the same freaking person.
Oh my God.
That's haunted you all the days of your life, and now you can finally be side by side. Maybe, but the first time you're with any of the Jackass guys or Bam or whatever, it's going to start right up again.
Dude, there's a clip that I'm going to put out as soon as the Broncos lose a game. I'm a big Broncos fan, and they do play the Eagles this year, so I imagine that's an L on the calendar for me. But the first time the Broncos lose a game, I actually have a clip ready to go of Johnny Knoxville punching me in the balls on stage.
Yes.
And he hit me with the microphone. I have one kid I don't think I could have anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put that out. And I don't know, it's so, why am I doing this to myself? I'm shooting myself in the foot because it's literally going to start the whole your Wee Man thing all over again.
Absolutely. But listen, and you cannot speak with enough reverence of Spinal Tap, just in general to the general public and then to comedians and comedy writers. It was, I remember, Brad, there are times in your life, and I'm sure you've had them where, people think comedians don't like to laugh, or that that it's hard to get them to laugh. I laughed the hardest I've ever laughed. Top 5 times in my life, driving home from Spinal Tap, and it was exactly the Stonehenge sequence. Yeah. It just blew me away, just crying. I had to pull over, and to be a part of that is so cool. By the way, the movie's getting very good reviews, so it's an uphill battle to take this revered movie and do a sequel. Did you get to read the full script before you did it, or just your scene?
I got a section, so I still don't know what's happening in the full. But here's the thing about Spinal Tap in terms of that style of movie and all the Christopher Guest style of movies. There's a script, but it's really a guideline. There's no dialogue. Every scene is improvised. So we really don't know what the script was going to be. Now, my scene, for reasons that you'll see when you watch the film, had to be a little more choreographed. But there, so yes, I'm in the Stonehenge scene, but there's a different take on it this time. And twice during filming, we had to yell cut because everyone on stage was laughing. So,
that's a good sign. That's a great sign.
So I'll tell you this. It's in the preview, so I'm not spoiling anything. Sir Elton John is in the scene, is in the Stonehenge scene. So I'm sharing the screen with him. When we were filming, there's a live audience, and there's downtime in between takes, and the live audience, all extras, during the downtime, some of them started yelling out, Sir Elton, we love you. Great. And then someone yelled out, Wee Man, we love you. Great. And then someone yelled out, Brad Williams, we love you. And then people like roared and cheered, like, yeah, Brad Williams. And Sir Elton, who I haven't spoken to the entire time, just turns around, looks at me and goes, who the F are you? So I'm pretty sure that could be the summary of my career. Brad Williams, who the F are you?
That's great. Brad, I wanted to ask you about Spinal Tap in particular, but those 3 guys, like the movie is obviously hilarious, but the movie doesn't work if they're not also great musicians. All 3 of them are incredible musicians, performers, and did you ever get lost in just the rock performance of what was happening up on stage? Because it's really fun to watch them as a rock band, even though they're a fake, silly rock band.
Yeah, we me and Wee Man missed our cue one time because it's just like they're playing and it's not a backing track. Right. They insisted that they play live. So we're watching Spinal Tap play live. And me and Wee Man are just looking at each other like, you got to be kidding, man. This is amazing. And all the original guys are back, and they are talented musicians, and they're all really funny. And but they've never gone away. That's the cool part, is all these guys have been doing stuff, whether it be Michael McKean in Better Call Saul or be Christopher Guest still making movies, one of which I'm in called Mascots. Yes. So everyone kept working, so that you could tell that they did this not as like a money grab, but literally just a labor of love, where they're like, let's do it. And I actually like the fact that they waited as long as they did, because now that kind of sets up the story. The fact that they've been gone, Spinal Tap has been gone that long.
Well,
so I love it, man.
They've dipped their toes periodically into it over the years with the middling success, but this now they look like those rockers who can't quite drop the long hair, who are out on the reunion tour. It mimics.
Do you guys know anyone like that? Being at the radio station that you're at,
right?
By the way,
go ahead.
Tickets on sale this weekend to see Foreigner right there, right down the street.
No, it is cool though, and there's something. We're huge fans of rock documentaries and bands that hit that point in their career. It just makes for really engaging stuff. So it appears that's what they're lampooning with this. So 100%. Besides Elton John, who else did you see? Obviously, you had a sort of sliver of the overall movie, but did you see anyone else of those cameos you were mentioning?
I didn't. I may have seen it, but we were shooting in New Orleans for a week, and when you're with Wee Man in New Orleans, you don't remember much because it's just wherever. Also, if I'm out with Wee Man, people are freaking out because it's like two. I use the word celebrity lightly, but like two celebrity dwarves at one time in the same area, like that never happens.
Right.
People are just grabbing us, trying to get a photos. Some people are, trying to make wishes and buy lottery tickets because they feel that's going to be something good. But I loved going out in New Orleans with that dude, and it made me very thankful that I've sort of carved out the niche of my career that I have, because I'm a stand-up comic. When people meet me, they want me to make them laugh and tell them a joke. Cool. When people see Wee Man out, they like, oh my God, it's Wee Man. Can I kick you in the balls?
Right.
Yeah, it's a different experience.
Yeah, it's like, no, you can't. So also, he's in his 50s now, so you might turn him into dust. So don't do that. So, but it was such a great time shooting in New Orleans, and the rap party is where I kind of got to meet everybody. And it
cool.
was,
who did you meet?
And it was truly an experience. Dave Grohl is cool as heck.
Yeah. Wow.
He's Dave Grohl. If they say never meet your heroes, they're not talking about Dave Grohl. Let's just say that.
That's great.
He's just cool as heck. Treats everyone the exact same. He's awesome.
Was Elton at the rap party too?
No, Elton was a fly in, fly out.
Okay.
But it was amazing because Sir Elton has a writer, and we shot this scene in like a dome stadium, not where like the Pelicans played, the New Orleans Pelicans, but we shot this scene in like where a collegiate team somewhere in New Orleans plays. I'm not sure which school. So it's like a ragtag basketball stadium, to say the least. It's and after Sir Elton's people were done with his dressing room area, it looked like the Four Seasons. It was crazy. Like,
he travels big.
I want Sir Elton's people to redo my house because I'd like to wake up to a swan.
Yeah. When you're at parks. Yeah. In the back, there is the Elton John dressing
room.
They referred to it. It is the configuration as decreed by Elton John about the way the green room or the dressing room should be.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty wild.
I'm going to be very excited to see it. I always like seeing candles that are the size of me. That's a good time. So
it's always good.
I will absolutely go down there to Parks Casino and see the Elton John suite as I'm playing there October 17th. Look at that plug.
There you go. So, Brad, I have to ask you, this algorithm has popped up and it won't leave my social media. It's you. It's another guy. I think he's a wrestler, Little People, or however you want to refer to, whatever.
Sure.
Pissing on it, just tearing apart Peter Dinklage. Is that a thing, or is he despised within the community? Could you explain?
All right, I will go into my Dink rant. Let's go. Here's the thing. I would never say the word despised. That would be very harsh. And to be honest with you, when you look at Peter Dinklage's body of work, I'm jealous of the man. He is insanely talented, and if they made a movie and called it the Brad Williams story, it would still be starring Peter Dinklage. Okay, like let's be very clear on that. But the reason why the beef, I don't know, when two dwarves are fighting, it's not really beef, it's more just jerky. Yeah. But the reason for the beef is the Snow White live action film. Right. It is widely believed that Dinklage kind of caused a lot of dwarves to not be cast in that film because he went on the Mark Maron podcast and kind of disparaged, like, oh, we're doing a live action Snow White. I don't know why we have to have dwarves and do live, like, and he kind of talked some S about it, and that clip kind of got aggregated and went viral, and then Disney panicked, and they replaced the dwarves with Snow White and the Seven Magical Beings, which if you see the photo of this, it just looks like a drum circle at Chico State. Like it's awful. And then
I remember this. I remember this going down. Yeah. So it goes back to that.
Yeah, and then they release the photo, and then everyone gets angry about the fact that they got Snow White and Seven Magical Beings. So then they replace them again with dwarves, but they're all CGI'd, because if dwarves play dwarves, that's horribly offensive if I play myself. We all remember, the biopic about Malcolm X when he was CGI'd. Of course, it still works. You know what I mean? Like,
it's absurd.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all of this is after Peter Dinklage is in the most offensive movie to little people ever made. Now, this movie will be right up your guys' alley. I believe it's currently streaming on Amazon Prime, so you could go and watch it after the show today. There is a movie called Tiptoes.
Okay.
This is the most offensive movie to dwarves ever made.
I've never heard of it.
And that's saying something. But here's the thing. You think the most offensive movie to dwarves ever made. This is some B-movie garage flick, something that someone shot together with an iPhone. No, my friends. In this movie, the trailer, if you bring up the trailer, it plays like a Saturday Night Live sketch. In this movie is Matthew McConaughey, Kate Beckinsale, and they say this in the trailer, in the role of a lifetime, Gary Oldman. Why is it the role of a lifetime? Because Gary Oldman's playing a dwarf in this film.
Yeah.
Now, when I say that, you probably think, wow, they probably did some Lord of the Rings CGI. No. On his knees.
Oh, my God.
Shoes on the knees. He's constantly hidden behind a couch or a bar or a something so you can't see his legs. At one point, he's sitting on the couch, but you can read in the notes of the film that they carved out the bottom, so he's sunken in and the legs are fake. They tie his arms back with rope so he has shorter arms. This is the role of a lifetime.
Wow.
This is the man who played Churchill. And
Jesus.
Also in this movie is Peter Dinklage with an accent that changes more time than Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail. Timely reference. So he's got like a French accent. It's Hungarian at some point. He drops a little Polish. Like it's the worst movie. It also stars Bridget the Midget, and if you've
the porn star.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're logging onto those websites, but she's in the film.
I've never heard of this.
It's got some big names in there.
Yeah.
Kate Beckinsale, obviously McConaughey. David Allen Greer's in there. I mean,
Dag's in there.
Patricia Arquette.
Patricia Arquette is in there. Yeah.
It's got a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That is, well, I mean, yeah.
So there you go. So there you go.
So there, there is a fight scene with Gary Oldman as a dwarf and an ex-boyfriend of his love interest. There's Dag has a sex scene with a dwarf in the film. It's insane. So like you know, what was the movie The Room with the guy with the oh hi Mark, and like some people are like just having bad movie watching parties. Have a party, watch Tiptoes, and just it's not even like you watch Blazing Saddles and you're like, they could never make this movie today, but it's so good, it's so funny, it's so groundbreaking. You watch Tiptoes, you're like, they could never make this movie today because someone would lose their job.
Wow. Jesus. I will have to explore that. Throw that on the pile with The Room and other great bad movies.
Yeah, so starring Peter Dinklage, the man who says it's offensive for dwarves to play dwarves. Watch Tiptoes.
Wow. Damn, I'd never heard of that.
Yeah. So needless to say, I don't see Dink at any of the meetings.
Man. All right, Brad, we're going to have to wrap up in a second, but you're going to be Parks Casino October 17th. It's a Friday. You're going to come and play a little fall golf while you're here. Are you still playing golf?
I am playing golf. I'm still making the same jokes that I make every time I go on the golf course, where people ask, "What's your handicap?" and I say, "Dwarfism, you a-hole." It works every time.
It does.
Yes, and yes, still playing a little golf, but unfortunately, with these tours that I'm on, I mean, the money's awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm in a new city every day, so I don't really have a lot of time to play golf. But I do when I go home, and I know it's kind of. You're like, yeah, Brad, of course you play golf because you guys can see me on the Zoom, but I'm wearing a hat that makes me look like a lawn ornament. Yeah, like I'm holding a ring, right?
Yeah.
Should be doing
Yeah,
that.
Jeff Cap
Exactly,
on.
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yep. So I am still playing, but yes,
Nice.
I'm more importantly playing all over the country on my Growth Spurt tour, and I hope to see a bunch of your fans in the audience.
Yeah, for sure. Parks Casino, October 17th.
And I think the name of your next special needs to be who the F are you? I think that would be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, when you're back in the area, I don't know how the schedule's going to line up, but we'd love to have you come back in.
Yeah.
There is if this show gets sold out, and I think it will at Parks Casino, it's already on the books for 2026. I will be back in Philadelphia proper.
All right, cool.
Yes, and not even a Philly Karen can take me on.
Very good. Yes, Karen Ball Snatcher. All right, Brad, we love you. Hey, congrats on this. We cannot wait to see the Spinal Tap appearance. So excited for you, man. But we'll see you next time you're in town, all right?
Hey, thank you guys. Always a pleasure to talk with you.
Take care of yourself. Brad Williams, guys. Stonehenge.
Hilarious.
He will be in that portion of the Spinal Tap 2 movie. The End Continues. That's coming out Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
It's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. Solid. And the critics are saying it's exactly what you would hoped it would be.
I hope so.
It's hard to stand in the shadow of a movie that towers the way the original one does, but it holds its own nicely, is what they're saying.
Most definitely. Hey, I just got a text from one Marilyn Russell. Former co-host of ours here on the Preston and Steve Show. Used to be the Preston, Marilyn and Steve Show back in the day. And she texted me and she says, good day to remind people how much they matter. Love you guys and will never forget how you buoyed me through 9/11. Wow. Always love and gratitude.
Oh, my goodness.
So it was me and Marilyn and Stephen Casey who were on the air when that happened 24 years ago today. In about 30 seconds, we're going to observe a moment of silence because that was when the first plane hit the tower, into something that we've done for the past 24 years. So, and obviously there are recognitions and ceremonies and everything that's going to be taking place in New York City and at the Pentagon and in Shanksville this morning. So this is our observation of that, but it was 24 years ago that happened. So we're going to take a moment just to pause here. "24 years ago today is when the incident, of course, took place, and the first plane hit at 8:46 a.m. Yeah, and Marilyn was on the show with us at the time, and that was one of those days that no one forgets. But we were having a really difficult time navigating getting the information and what was happening and trying to relay it. It was just forever burned into my mind how intense that was.
Well, think about something happens now, right? Think about the instantaneous barrage of information, often inaccurate, but what you get immediately. We were literally just having to run into the other room and watch the TV coverage. We had, an old dot matrix printer that was attached to a news service. And that was updating, but there was really nothing much else that you could do to acquire the information. We were actually taking calls from people all around the state, and who knew people up in New York.
Yeah.
And that was really all part of it. And it is eye-opening to think about, it's not that many years ago, but how much less accessibility there was to the news of the day, you know, and what was going on, and feeling really your head just spinning around like, can this be?
And it's hard to believe that we're nearly a quarter of a century away from when that happened, because the moments of that day are still so clear to me. You know what I mean?
Clear. As a matter of fact, I think there are a couple of things that they are foregoing in what they do as part of ritual every year this year in anticipation of the 25th.
Sure.
Where they're going to do a really full-throated acknowledgement of it. So.
Yeah. So you can check online what the list of events that are taking place and what time and all that, because obviously they're, like I said, they're doing things in D.C. and New York and also Shanksville. So they're going to have ceremonies there on top of all that. So we thought it important to take a moment and acknowledge. And so we are going to take a break now. We'll come back in a second. We do have some other things taking place, as in the Back to School A to Z. We are also going to check in with our buddy Chef Brian Duffy is going to be joining us. We also have actor Tony Goldwyn on the program, too. So we'll take a break. We'll come back in a second, and we'll continue on.
But they eventually had to put up a sign that said bagels and coffee for Mercedes customers only. And I was like,
it didn't say Dear Nick.
That was that's for me. All right.
Well, here's a similar story to that. This says, I worked concessions at a ballpark that had an all-you-can-eat promo day where tickets were more expensive than usual, but concessions excluding alcohol around the stadium were free. So I worked that day, and of course it was chaos. And when the lines started dying down later in the game, they started sending home some of the hourly employees, myself included. But I didn't go home. After I clocked out, I stayed in the stadium, got some cheeseburgers, cheesesteaks, and a soda, then found an empty seat in the crowd for the last few innings. The next year, they had the same promo. New rule for staff. If you get sent home early, you actually have to leave the stadium. So it's similar to you, Nick.
But I understand his point.
Let me go to Steven. Hi, Steven. Good morning.
Chicken pot, chicken pot, chicken pot pie.
Thank you for the serenade. What's up, man?
So when I was a kid, me and my family used to belong to the Warminster Swim Club, and all the township folks used to cut through the swim club to get to their maintenance building quicker. So when I was 14, I was riding my bike through the swim club, and I got nailed by a van. Township supervisor was driving through.
And so then after that, what happened?
No more cutting through the parking lot.
No more cutting through the
Well,
parking
you can
lot.
understand that, clearly,
Yes.
since you almost died.
Yeah, you took one for the team, for the walkers
Damn
and
it.
bike riders. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate it. Let's go to Will. Hey, Will, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry to bother you guys at work.
Nah, what's up, man?
So back in the ancient times of the mid 1990s, teachers had copy cards for their copiers at school, and they would sometimes send a couple students to go make copies for them. Well, I was one of the responsible ones, and they sent myself and one of my friends to go make copies. Well, one of my friends takes the copy card and decides to copy a magazine from his father's collection and send pictures around the entire school. And so after that, teachers were never allowed to give copy cards again to their students.
Wow.
Of course.
They killed
because you were working now in the porn industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you can understand. Yeah.
Good times. Good
Thanks,
times.
Will.
I love those
appreciate
last second scrambles because I didn't realize that we had not a common like the Power Ranger bed sheet.
Right.
We should have specified.
Here's another example. It says, in middle school, I would use Sharpie, permanent markers, to, quote, tattoo myself. Other kids thought that it was cool, so I started charging $1 per drawing wherever they wanted. The principal found out, and after I refused to stop, she put a ban on Sharpies entire school. Even the teachers could not bring them in. And then this person writes, I'm a tattoo artist now.
Oh, my God. That's
Ended up
funny.
making a career out of it. I will go to Holly. Good morning to you, Holly.
Good morning.
What's up, Holly?
How do you work?
Thank you.
Yeah, I was in middle school. I think I was like 12 or 13, and I decided I wanted Domino's pizza, so I ordered one, had it delivered to the cafeteria. Apparently, they never had a rule about that, but there was one after that.
You're like Spicoli. You got pizza delivered to school.
Yeah.
I did, Domino's, but I had to share it.
And so did they talk to you about it, or did they just issue a statement that said no more of this?
Well, they did. I had a principal that actually I loved. We got along great, and he had to vice principal, excuse me, and he had to pull me aside and talk to me, and he said, "This is not like you, Holly. I can't believe you did this, but good one."
Yeah. All right.
That was that bad. You ordered a pizza. That's all.
Yeah. But they made a rule after that. So, all right, thanks. Here's a text that says,
You gotta buy a crappy pizza.
Says, according to my husband, a 2-beer at a time limit was installed and stated at the Fest House in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, because of him and his buddies building beer cup pyramids on the table, dancing every dance with the Fest House dancers, and generally acting like drunken maniacs. Don't know if this is really true, he said, but apparently that happened.
2-beer limit.
Here's a similar one. This one says, in college, some friends and I used to go to a Mexican restaurant every Thursday and often on Saturdays for their $1 margaritas. As a group, we would go there a lot. And eventually, they put a new rule in. It was now $2 margaritas and more than 4 margaritas per person.
Oh.
A lot. Well, so I wasn't responsible for it, but there used to be the thing at the Roy Rogers where the Fixins bar, and people go and just make sandwiches. So there was one right near my college, and I think this is probably corporate wide, but people would go do that and not really buy anything,
right?
And so they put up a sign at that salad bar, you know, for patrons only, for paying customers only, because it was getting like Nick, like the Mercedes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go to Christine. Hi, Christine. Good morning.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? All right, Christine. What rule did they change because of you?
Well, you said porn industry, so this goes a little towards that. So when my friend and I were 17 years old, friend of the family was the penalty box official for the Flyers back in the old Spectrum. And we were waiting for him after the game. We were outside in the corridor outside the locker room. You could get really close to the fighters at that point. So the door swings open, and Brad McCrimmon and Kathy, let's just say they call him the Beast for a reason.
Wow.
Brad McCrimmon was standing there totally naked. So, of course, 17, I'm like, oh, my God. So ever since then, they changed the rule was that nobody could get down in that corridor by the locker room unless you were affiliated with the Flyers organization. And
or
now,
a 17-year-old girl.
At 17, and
Yeah.
now I'm in human resources. There you go.
Oh, there you go. So you're handling stories like that.
Funny. And that was the moment they made the rule. All right. Thank you, Christine. Hope you're proud. We'll go to Frank next. Hi there, Frank.
You're heading with a hammer.
I in the morning.
All right, what's up, Frank?
I was a bartender, and a customer ordered a flaming shot. And I didn't tell the customer, hey, you need to blow fire out because we can't consume that. And so he goes.
We, as human beings, cannot consume fire.
No,
Okay.
Science has taught us that.
Yes.
So he goes to drink the shot, gets scared, cause fire, drops the shot. It breaks on the bar, and my bar engulfs in flames for a moment. And then, had to take like a soda gun to spray it off.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so no more flaming shots at Texas Roadhouse, guys.
Oh,
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
A flaming Mo.
I don't know if it was you or the customer, but But yep, absolutely. Other example. This one says, I got our human resources Dropbox taken away at work because HR threatened to not pay us if we missed a clock in or clock out. I printed out the law stating that what they were threatening was illegal, highlighted it, and put it in the HR box when no one was around. Our HR rep threw an unholy fit and tried to figure out who put the paper in her box. And from then on, everything had to be handed in personally instead of a box.
I can see that.
And they went on to say, in our defense, the phones didn't always work and the clock-in system was really unreliable. So that's why they had made that complaint. Another one says, I already did that one. My younger brother was always late to school and tardy every day. He eventually figured out that if you just skipped first period altogether and showed up to his second period, he was counted as being at school with no late penalty since he was at second period on time. And they had to change that the following year.
So the rule would accommodate just going to second period, and he would be listed as
present for the day.
present for the day,
but with no tardy for the first class.
Right.
Okay, that's gaming the system.
Right.
Yep.
Need to adjust that.
Let's go next to him. We're taking calls on a rule that was made because of something you did, and I will go to Kenny next. Hey, Kenny. Good morning.
Hey, Kathy, it's Jay. I heard your mixtape, and I want to take you back.
Wait, do you know Jay, or did I say his name on the air?
You said his name on the air.
Right. Very astute, Kenny. What's up, man? What'd you do?
So in middle school, you know, like you get changed in the locker rooms for like gym class. It's the first time you're all excited to use deodorant and be like a man.
Right.
Well, we were in the back of the bus, and we some kid, I'm not going to say his name, but he brought a lighter, and we were making fireballs in our hands.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shooting flamethrowers, and the next year our bus driver would not allow those deodorants in his bus, so I had to use stick.
Okay.
You had to use a stick from there.
Yep. And it was only our bus driver. It wasn't the whole school. It was just our bus driver. He was just an old grouchy fool.
Oh, yeah. You didn't like you making fireballs on the bus.
Come on, dude. We're just making fireballs on a moving vehicle that is powered by gasoline.
That's funny.
Wow.
All right. Thanks, Kenny. Appreciate it. Here's a follow-up to our call earlier from Christine, who saw the Flyers players naked. This text says, I was dating Christine, and I was with her when that happened. I saw Brad McCrimmon's junk. So
hilarious.
they were part of the whole thing. So, legitimizing.
So that was a well-known legend with him?
I don't know. I just said his name the beast.
Now it is.
So.
Yeah.
All right, here's another text that says, I made a fake penis out of clay in middle school, and I waved it around on the back of the bus and got caught. They had no more clay in art class because of my wiener.
Well, we are in the broadcast industry, and we have tons of fake penises around here. So
we got loads. Yeah. Let's go next to Justin. Hey, Justin, good morning.
Hey, good morning. You guys rock.
Thank you, sir. What's going on, Justin?
So back in high school, one summer, me and a buddy, they went to a 7-Eleven. They have the big 100-ounce.
Yes.
Well, the little deal was buy the mug, get a free soda. Well, we decided to fill it full of the slushie instead. So we fill it full of Slurpee, go to the register. She can't charge us because she doesn't have it because it's not listed as an actual drink as for the soda because we weren't supposed to fill it up. So we got the free 100-ounce Slurpee, went back the next day with the same mug, and they plastered paper all over saying we couldn't fill it up with Slurpee anymore.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
You gamed the system for one day, though.
One day.
Yeah, I remember that. There was a big thing where remember the moment you could bring in your own receptacle?
They do that like once a year.
Right.
Yeah, where you can bring in your own.
Whatever you
your own
want.
one. But they sold him that one.
Yeah.
But it was just made for sodas. Here's another one that says, when I used to walk home from school, I walked next to the road to get to my house. And one day, I decided to see if I could walk with my eyes closed.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's...
And as I walked, I didn't feel the transition from travel to unknowingly was walking on the road, and I heard a noise and looked behind me. A line of cars had formed, but none of the cars had honked, and I immediately ran off into an orchard, but later learned why nobody honked, because 2 weeks later, they put up signs that said deaf child area on both sides of the road. They thought I was deaf, so they didn't honk.
Oh, my God.
And so they put those.
So, wait, that's another thing, though. Do you ever try? I try to get around my house sometimes with my eyes closed.
Do you really?
Yeah, like I've tried it to see if I know how many steps
never do that.
to the door.
I've done it a few times just to see because, I wake up in relative darkness and I try not to turn the lights on to wake anybody else up. And I'm like, I wonder if I could
do that.
Walk from here to there without bumping into something. Yeah.
I'm usually not that successful. I'm good with the light switches. I know where they are.
It seems kind of goofy for you to do that.
I know.
Let me go to next to Carl. Hey, Carl, good morning.
Yoo-hoo!
All right, Carl, so they made a rule because of what?
So high school, we were allowed to lunch and get in our vehicles, go uptown, get whatever we wanted. My health teacher was betting that I couldn't make it to Delaware because that's where Taco Bell was, to Taco Bell and back before the period ended. So I jumped in my Mustang, hauled ass across the Delaware Bridge.
It's like Smokey and the Bandit.
That's basically
Steve.
it.
Yeah.
You're encouraging excessive driving, excessive speed.
That's where it comes into play because when I got back in town, I was...
WMMR.
The Piccolo Inn is here with us this morning. They brought a bunch of goodies with them and some goodies for you, too. You're in luck. I have a $50 gift card. We'll take caller number 10, 610-660-9333. Nick, did you try the cornbread chili mini muffins?
While you guys were talking about Stained and that song and in our commercial break, I had two. And,
of them.
They were delicious, and I really like the cornbread complement to the chili. Yeah, it's really damn good.
Well, because in chili, you want to crumble a little cornbread
That's
on
right.
there while you eat it. So why not stuff some in a cornbread muffin, man? It's fantastic. So obviously their wings are the big thing, but they also brought in Bang Bang sliders and buffalo chicken dip and all this stuff. So thank you very much to Bonnie for stopping by here today. And you can get your chicken wing fix. They're on Route 206. At the newly remodeled Piccolo Inn, by the way. Marissa was just talking about how great the place looks. She was looking at pictures. And you'll find them in Shamong, New Jersey. And you can order their award-winning wings and tails and ears for game day. Visit pickalily.com. So we'll take, like I said, caller number 10, and we'll set you up with that $50 gift card. We have a couple of minutes before we're going to have Tony Goldwyn joining us. So I wanted to mention here's a butt plug I got this from Skids.
Skids?
Yeah. Yeah. It says, hey, would you kindly do a butt plug for Bikers Against Child Abuse Dine to Donate fundraiser, which benefits children of abuse and our little heroes. So it's going to be Thursday, September 25th, 4 to 10 p.m. at the Texas Roadhouse in Sicklerville. And they said that the intent is to create a safer environment for abused children. We empower children not to feel afraid. All money raised goes to support the children. And thank you from longtime listener, Skids, a.k.a. Karen Rubinson.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
And she says, P.S., thank you for always making my mornings great for over 20 years. So
terrific.
All right. And I've been asked to give a plug to this thing. It's coming up next Wednesday, and it is the Broadcast Pioneers of Philadelphia. And this is, they are celebrating the Preston and Steve show.
Yes.
The Broadcast Pioneers of Philadelphia. So next Wednesday, and it is slated as this, an hour with WMMR's Preston and Steve, Champions of the Radio event.
All right.
So they're putting this on for us. It's
are.
Very.
They are.
I'm honored to be considered for this, and it's going to be at the McCall Golf Club in Upper Darby, and it is from noon to 2. Because it's an hour-long program, and then afterwards there's just hang out and eat and chat. And it's
whatnot.
$42, and the last day to buy tickets is tomorrow at noon. So
I am the champion. I am the champion.
So if you're interested, we have a link to this. Nick, did you get sent this?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Did you post this?
I did.
Okay, so you can go to PrestonandSteve.com.
Community page, yeah.
That's really cool that they want to celebrate the show, so we're excited about it.
Am I supposed to go to that?
I don't. So
you don't have to, but you certainly can.
Certainly can.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's not on my calendar. I'm like, because you said show, and I was like, well, I'm part of that part. I'm not Preston or Steve.
I'm
show. Yeah, I'm show.
Faux show.
Yeah, it doesn't say show on this.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay, then I don't have to go. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm out.
It says asterisk does not include other show members.
No, they do all kinds of stuff for broadcasters in Philadelphia throughout. There's going to be like a 60th anniversary of KYW, I believe, coming up down the road. So yeah, they got a bunch of.
Pierre just did one for the Live Aid. the broadcast. They had one of these.
That was through Broadcast Pioneers?
That was through that, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So thank you, Broadcast Pioneers of Philadelphia, for this honor. And yes, you, the public can join.
Yes.
So go to PrestonandSteve.com and get the information there.
Is Steve Tawa going to be there?
I don't. What, at our event?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
He might.
I don't know Steve
He'd definitely
Tawa.
be at the KYW event.
Yeah. Oh, is that different?
No. But you know what? Actually, when we went for Pennsylvania Association of Broadcasters Award, we got Mike DiNardo from KYW.
right.
I play softball.
He got an award, and he thanked us.
That's
as
cool.
his award recipient.
That's classy.
So I thought that was really cool. And I went over to him, and I'm like, dude, you listen to our show? He's like, oh my God, yes. So it was really cool.
If Steve Tower was there, I'm going to get him to say Wawa.
Wawa.
Yeah.
Wawa.
Wawa.
Steve Tawa.
We have a couple of minutes before Tony Goldwyn is going to be joining us, too. Man, I don't know if I have time to read this. I'll read this email, but we're not going to get any. This is going to take some time to hash this
Well, then
out.
don't.
No, I'm going to throw it out there.
All right.
This is from Scott Bretherick. And he says, hey, Presbo, hope all is well. Wanted to pass this question on in hopes of solving a mystery. And maybe we can take some text and come back to it. But there is a rooftop just feet from the elevated section of Route 76 in the Grays Ferry Penn area.
Okay.
Apparently, it must be some sort of game. But there are as many as 20 water bottles filled with piss on the roof.
Wow. Oh, my God. Really?
He said, now, I only saw this in passing, but from what I could tell, it was the same brand of water bottles. And unfortunately, this person needs to drink more fluids. It's the same color of dark piss. And he says, is this a contest? Is there a viral thing I don't know about? I sent this to a group text, and sure enough, someone else knew exactly what I was talking about. Best seen from 76 westbound, just before the new walking bridge underneath.
I know this area. It's so like I'm
piss friendly.
No. That section of 76, like my eyes are on the road.
All right.
You know what I mean? Me too. Because you got exits from both sides.
It's a maelstrom of
and
traffic.
entrances. So the bottles of urine. And by the way, that's from our previous intern, Wheels. Do you remember Wheels?
Yeah, I absolutely remember Wheels.
I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah. Well, we need to get to the bottom of
but
this.
But he wants to know where these bottles of urine are coming from. If anyone knows, reach out to us.
Well, Penn Medicine's over there, too.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're getting rid of the
residuals or put
the leftover
display purposes.
Test results, I don't know. But maybe our next guest knows. No, I was looking for a segue, and I couldn't find one. He's actually got a podcast. It's launching September 16th. It's called Far From the Tree. And he and his daughter are talking about the fact of Nepo babies, essentially.
Yes, this thing.
Yeah, and we love him. He's been in so many great things, and we were talking off air about Scandal and Law and Order, and obviously kind of came onto everyone's radar in the movie Ghost.
Yes,
as the bad guy. But he's great. He's an actor, director, producer. Please welcome Mr. Tony Goldwyn to our show today. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Awesome. Thanks for coming on, man.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So, listen, you with nepotism, which is going to be the focus of this, from what I understand, your podcast. What does your daughter do in the business for people who don't know?
Yes, my daughter Anna is a screenwriter and a television writer, I'm the third generation of our family in show business, and she and actually my daughter Tess, who's an actress and a director, are the fourth. And we got fascinated with, what that means in our relationship has been a really important part of being able to share that with each other, as it was with me and my dad. And, would laugh about it because the whole kind of Nepo baby thing and nepotism had this kind of negative connotation. And I found it to be a really beautiful thing. And I realized we were talking and I was like, this is a thing in human history where it's a very natural thing for people to go into the same game as their parents, And so we wanted to talk to other people who have had the same experience. So we're talking to actors and, writers and musicians and athletes and coaches in sports and politicians, and just to hear what that is. And eventually we'll be talking to people who are in just kind of more, everyday industries, so lawyers, so we've had some amazing conversations.
It permeates all aspects. And the thing that The term Nepo baby is relatively new by my reckoning. Nepotism's obviously been around forever, but this sort of pejorative aspect of Nepo baby. And I've always thought, yeah, it might get the door open for you, but if you can't prove you've got the chops, you're going to get cut down. Hollywood, especially talking about your industries, not known for being overly charitable for someone who's not doing a good job or giving the companies a return. So we've seen people. It's just a leg up sometimes, but once you get there, you still have to prove your worth. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I found that to be 100%. I mean, look, we all want to help our kids. We want to pave the way for them. We want them to thrive. For me, when I decided I wanted to be an actor, coming from a lineage that was, my grandfather was one of the, my paternal grandfather was one of the pioneers of the film industry, and my dad was a very successful producer. So for me, it was more of a heavy weight I had to figure out how to cope with when I decided I was going to enter, because when you're an actor, if you can't deliver the goods, you're not going to get very many jobs.
Right.
And, so the thing I mostly gained, some through osmosis and then some through, a lot through just our relationship, was a kind of, gaining from the experience of having forebears who worked in this industry to kind of understand the ups and downs of it. And more than kind of someone opening a door or giving me a job, although my father tried to do anything he could for me, it was just incredibly valuable and a great part of our relationship. And, I've done everything I can to help my kids, but they've had to kind of stand on their own 2 feet and fall down and fall on their face sometimes.
That's part of it.
That's
Yeah.
That's a lot about what we talk about. So, and talking to other folks who we've been interviewing, it's just been really interesting to hear other people's experience of that. Some who are super famous and some who are maybe less famous.
Tony, I've got 3 kids. None of them have any interest in working in the radio industry, which kind of hurt my feelings at first. I thought I was all prepared to go, now you got to work hard, and it's not it's a tough industry. And I never even had to have that discussion with them whatsoever. I was a little bit hurt, but then I also understand, listen, we have to follow our own passions and all that, which is important, because if you're not happy at work, then you're not happy. With your daughter, when she started to indicate that she was interested in this line of work, did it come with a series of cautionary discussions, or was it just all support? Hey, I'm going to help you. You got this.
No, I think, my wife, Jane, is a production designer in the film industry. She's designed a lot of incredible movies. She's done scenery for films. Jane and I, when Anna started to develop a passion for writing, honestly, the way that we talk about this in the show, but the way it hit me was I was directing years ago. I'm on Law and Order right now, but 18 years ago, I directed an episode of Law and Order when Sam Waterston was playing the role that I now play. And Anna was like, bring your child to work day at her school. And so she came and watched, and she was absolutely wrapped and upset, thought it was fascinated. And we went out to dinner afterwards, and she said, Dad, I think this is what I want to do with my life. I want to do this, and of course I got all emotional thinking, oh my God, my kids had this revelation. She barely remembers that. Sort of involved, by the time she was in college. But no, what Jane and I wanted was to instill a work ethic. And we were like, guys, just look at the reality of it. If you have a passion, that is a gift, but just know what the reality is. And they grew up with watching us work our butts off. I always tried to be pretty transparent about when things didn't work out for me, because I was nervous about if they'd see me like at an opening or on the cover of a magazine or something like that, or on a talk show, that they not think that was the reality. And so they just had an understanding of that. And so we just tried to keep it real with them, but never discouraging a passion or saying, this is going to be really tough, because I feel like if someone's got a passion for something, they should just go for it.
Yes, yeah,
and and that's a gift.
It's funny because, and thinking about it, and hearing you talk right now, so perhaps if you're going into the arts or entertainment, or you're going to be a director or writer, there's nuance. There are critics who will like what you do and people who won't. You mentioned sports. If you're in sports, you're like LeBron James and his son, there's really no interpretation. Either you play well or you don't. I think that could be a much more caustic environment if you're the progeny of someone who excels at sports and you go into it as well.
Oh, 100%. LeBron and Lonnie James is a perfect example. We also, one of our interviews is with Coach Vic Schaefer, who's the head coach of the University of Texas women's basketball team and a storied coach and won national championships. And his daughter, Blair Schaefer, is his assistant coach. And when he was the head coach at Mississippi State, Blair was a star player for him. And imagine going to play for your dad and then going to the coaching staff of your dad, who was a legendary coach, and hearing them talk about that. Blair, he was tough on her when she was a player, and they have a profoundly close relationship. And it's wonderful to hear that. That'll be coming out in November when we talk to them. But that's a perfect example. There was no cruising when you're the coach's daughter trying to get on the team, either as a player and then as a coach.
There's no way to interpret it. Either you're doing it or you're not. Yeah,
that's right.
Tony, I want to touch on something else real quick. We, the viewing public, like to think that anybody who's ever been in a movie with somebody else remains best friends for the rest of their lives, and we just know it doesn't work that way now. And one of the things where we learned that was, I don't know if you saw the Brat Pack documentary, but Demi Moore was in that, and they were saying, look, some of these people I haven't seen since we finished that movie, and you like to think of it this way, but obviously you were Demi in Ghost. And I was curious if A, you guys stay in touch, and B, did you see her resurgence in The Substance and how wonderful that was?
Absolutely. I'm so happy for Demi. I mean, Demi and I, you work with so many incredible people, I have over my career, and some you become super tight with if your lives kind of intersect, and others you don't, but it doesn't mean aren't incredibly fond of them. Demi and I have stayed in touch over the years, and at certain times we see each other, not all the time, but last year, we actually saw each other a lot last year, and I'm just so happy for her success. And she was so brilliant in that film, and she's had a real resurgence. And look, the same with Whoopi from Ghost. Whoopi and I have seen each other a lot over the years, and I directed a film last year that Whoopi, played a role in, and of course I've done her talk show, The View, a bunch, and so sadly we can't do that with Patrick because he's no longer with us, But I try, these are people who, that was my first big thing, and we all had a beautiful experience and enjoyed that success together. So Demi really deserves everything she's getting acknowledged for now.
As an actor, since the beginning, you've been very applicable to certain roles. We were introduced to you in many ways as the sniveling bastard of Ghost, but yet you can be a wonderful guy as well. Do you find that when you start a new role, and obviously you talk about Law and Order, which is not a new role for you, but do you get a little bit of the public shifts their perception of you? Do you carry that with you a little bit? Is that something you always have to adapt to?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think of it in those ways, but absolutely the way it hits. I mean, when I did Scandal, which was, such a beloved show, people were like, I've finally forgiven you for killing Patrick Swayze. But then I thought, wait a minute, I'm playing a pretty morally compromised president of the United States.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
But people somehow love that character. In Law and Order, and now this movie that's coming out, that's also really I really recommend this new Paul Thomas Anderson movie, One Battle After Another, which is coming out later this month. It's an amazing film, and I play a very I'm not going to give it away, but a morally dubious character in that. It's great fun to play those parts, and the people receive you in a certain way. So I just love mixing it up.
No, absolutely.
Well, listen, we know you got to run, but we're going to hit this again. Far from the Tree, the podcast is launching on the 16th, and it's Tony and his daughter Anna, and I'm sure there's going to be some great stuff. You guys are going to talk to some cool people, so it's an interesting topic that you can really speak on authority from, so we're looking forward to hear the subject matter. We appreciate your time today, Tony. Thank you.
Great talking to you both. Take care.
You got to take care. All right, Tony Goldman, guys. Love that guy.
Yeah, man.
That's excellent.
I want to be that. I want to be Tony Goldman, man. Yeah. He's got style.
And grew up in the golden Hollywood Metro Goldwyn Mayer.
Yeah, and so it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. All right, we have another guest. It's not stopping, folks. There is an event that is coming up this weekend, actually, and it's called Bite for the Fight Food Festival. And it's a benefit event. We're going to ask him about all this stuff, but we love having him by here. He's one of our favorite chefs. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Brian Duffy. Hey!
Good morning, my friends.
Joining us again. Good to see you,
You
sir.
as well. I brought you all breakfast.
Stop
Wow.
Yes. I don't play games, so if you guys want to pass these around.
What is this?
All right, so this is a little dish that I'm actually going to be doing at the bite.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I'll take the small
Here you
one.
go. Okay.
So this is a little bit of a smoky fried rice that I made.
Wow.
So there's actually birria on the inside of there, as well as some bratwurst and some birria braised chicken, a whole bunch of vegetables from my garden. That's Thai basil, and those are the greatest eggs that you can find. I pick them up in Lancaster, and I bring them home with me because I'm a weird dude.
I love that the egg is right on top.
Oh, well, there's egg inside as well.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, but I did have to make a special one just for Marissa, so everybody knows there's no birria in that one and no broth.
What's the seasoning right on top, Brian?
That is salt, pepper, a little bit of crushed red chilies, and then when you grow basil and you have all the little flowers on the top of it?
Yes.
So I pull those off and I dry them in my kitchen, and then I grind them over top of stuff before I use them. So everything
really
is
good.
it's super fun. That birria is, look, I was really happy when I made it the other
Wait,
day.
what's
I'm not gonna
birria?
lie.
What's birria?
Birria is typically it's done with goat. This is actually a chuck roll and short rib that I grill and smoke for a little bit, and then I put it into this beautiful broth that I make with a whole bunch of guajillo chilies and ancho chilies, tomatoes, and all the other stuff. Everything that's kind of left in the garden, I throw in.
And
there.
people can, go ahead.
This is out of this world. I regularly make fried rice.
It's the best thing.
It's been a family recipe for a long, long time. It's very simple. It's nothing that'll excite you, but I am a fried rice fanatic, and this is wonderful, man.
Thanks, man.
Give me some
Really
really good ideas here.
We tend to forget, one of my favorite dishes is basic rice and beans.
Yeah.
So effing good.
It's all about, for me, one of the reasons why I do this dish, and I do it a lot when I do demonstrations and when I do appearances and stuff, is because everybody's got fried rice. And it started for me because I have my girls are 24 and 21 now. They still order way too much Chinese food whenever I go away. And I come back and there's always white rice in the little container. So that's the perfect stuff. You don't have to cook fresh rice for it.
Yep.
Get some of the day-old stuff because it's already dried out and it makes it that little bit of crisp.
Almost always, whenever we cook a chicken or a steak dish and we have leftovers, next day is beef fried rice, chicken fried rice,
Absolutely.
whatever. I make it all the time. It's a wonderful, easy way to make a meal from leftovers and leftover rice, leftover white rice. It's real simple.
So Preston's turned me on to making fried rice, and it's far superior to anything I'll get at a Chinese restaurant because it's fresh and all that stuff. But I use sesame oil to cook my. Okay, so that's what I cook my vegetables in, and if I'm going to put a protein in there, I'll do that as well. Go ahead.
I'll give you guys the greatest trick. And it's a company called Bliss, BLIS, and they make a smoked soy that I put into there that is unbelievable. It's so delicious.
Smoked soy.
Smoked soy.
Never
so
had
they
it.
put it in barrels, basically, like you would do with a whiskey or something to that effect. But the barrels are smoked, so it's got a char on the inside of it. So imparts that char and that smoke flavor inside of the soy.
So our family secret recipe, and I'll share this now because I don't do it this way anymore. I just use olive oil as base. But we would save all of our bacon grease.
Of course.
And the bacon grease was the base for the fried rice, and it made it took it to another level. You get
Preston?
that pork fat, yeah.
Sure gave you up that secret recipe pretty quickly. I wonder if you're
saying.
There was olive oil for the initial batch for Marissa.
Okay.
And then when I kind of started to make it for you guys, I actually take the fat from the birria broth, and that's what I saute all that extra stuff. So if you make birria broth and then you hold it in the freezer, and then all that fat on top of it is what you use to saute.
For all the years we've known you, you're to me, I always think of you in the world of higher end chefs as you love the experimentation, the innovation, and that's always been your thing.
Absolutely.
What do you do? Do you just throw some stuff on a table and say, let's go at this, see what I can configure and Mad Lib this together? Or what's your process of coming up with new dishes?
I mean, you already have an idea of how things are going to react.
Right.
Cooking is science.
It
It's
is.
cause and effect.
Right.
If my heat's too hot, I'm going to burn. If it's too low, I'm not going to get a sear. So it's all cause and effect for what you're going to do with it. So if you say to me, hey, I have a protein that I want you to use, I'm going to take that protein, I'm going to associate it with something in my head, and then I'm going to start to build the dish around it.
I see.
So for the fried rice, I actually used brown rice and I used a little bit quinoa because I'm trying to be a healthier human being. So I try to get a better protein in my body, blah, 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 I'm still fat. I'll run with it. But I really do try to utilize much better products for what it is that's going into it. Hence the eggs that I pick up, hence the vegetables that are from my gardens, the green onions, the basil. I just walked outside this morning, snip, and go.
When it comes to creating in the kitchen, because I'm great at, I know the techniques and I can do recipe, no problem. But when it comes to freestyle, and I will mess around every now and slap some stuff together. If you're trying to create something from scratch on your own recipe, in the research and development part of it, I would imagine you can get the components right the first time, but maybe not the amounts just right the first time. And is that something that you tinker with a little bit?
No, you know what I mean? You just kind of know. I know how many, like, is that salty? Let me ask you, is that dish salty? Which is funny because there's soy sauce in there, which is automatic soy. It's got sodium. Then there's smoked salt in there. Plus, I also put a Maldon flake salt that went into that as well. So it was a couple different layers. So for me, you kind of know how far to go.
Right. You do because you're a goddamn great chef.
So yes. So what I always say to people when they're going to play around with recipes, a recipe is a guideline. Build it out your own way. If you're going to bake, you stick to that recipe 100% because that's a true science there. But if you're going to play around with savory foods and you want to cook and play, go for it. Just throw in what you want. And then next time say, you know what? There was too much pepper in that.
Right. So let's talk about the biteforthefight.com and what this charity's involved in and with what they do, and give us all the particulars on that.
So the event is this weekend. It's out at the Expo Center out in Oaks, also known as the Philadelphia Expo Center.
Oh, we're there often.
From Philadelphia, but it is the Philadelphia Expo Center. A beautiful arena that's out there. And this is the Bite for the Fight. So a beautiful 14-year-old girl named McKenna Massey passed away a bunch of years ago after a really long struggle, a very quick struggle, actually, with AML, a form of cancer. So the family had gotten together. She was a huge sports fan. She was a massive food fan. So they put together the Bite for the Fight. So I've been trying to get involved in this event for years, but unfortunately with my schedule, it never happened.
Right.
They reached out to me in the beginning stages of this and asked me. I put it in my calendar. Boom, here we are. We're getting ready to go. We've got great food, and all of the money that goes into it helps with the quality of life that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to having cancer or having to deal with it, because you've got all the added stress of where to stay, hotel bills, parking, the basics of parking down by CHOP.
No.
So it supports all the families at CHOP.
Those are all and we're blessed to have a number of charities in the area that address those very issues, and frankly the more the merrier, because that is the part of the whole thing. Listen, you've already heard the C word. You already have cancer in your life. And then this onslaught of other crap that is sort of the collateral to that really becomes the uphill battle. And so anything that alleviates that is a win.
It's expensive to get sick.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so tickets are available how?
Tickets are available. You can go right to the website at biteforthefight.com. Grab yourself some tickets. There's some really cool celebrities that are coming out. Food demonstrations, Real Housewives of New Jersey. Like, it's going to be a super fun day.
What are you going to be doing? You doing any demos or anything?
I'm going to MC for the day with Spike Eskin, and then I'm also going to do a demonstration. I'm going to do a variation of this dish on Saturday.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And are there going to be free samples, or are people paying for the dishes?
There's going to be samples that are available. It all comes kind of through with what you've got with your ticket.
With your ticket.
But it goes from 12 until 4. So you want to get in. And look, if you can't make it, it's an unbelievable charity. You can go right to biteforthefight.com. They have a silent auction in there. And if you are a sports fan, there's everything from Saquon Barkley jerseys in there all the way down to a helmet signed by Rudy Rediger.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they got everything.
Yeah.
Nick.
Rudy.
You know, Brian, that's the worst football movie of all time.
Oh, come on. It's the best.
It's the best.
That's Sean Astin? Like,
it's
come
just
on.
terrible.
Tapping the sign when he runs out. He almost touched
Favreau's in it.
Brian, what about your line of seasonings and spices and stuff like that?
I still have all that stuff. I've actually kind of transitioned a little bit more. I actually have a spice company out of Germany that I'm a partner in. But right now I've got a cookie company out of Alaska that I've been working and growing for the last 6 years with my partner, Molly Blakesley. She is an unbelievable being. We are in Target and Walmart. We are all over. Target just placed another 800 case order for us. Go into Target, grab yourself some Molly B's cookies. They're these big, fat, beautiful cookies.
Oh, wow.
That are super tasty. And I'm not a good human because I didn't bring any with me.
Molly B's
I'm
cookies.
literally feeling the guilt that I'm giving myself so hard right now.
We still have that. Remember the burger press you had?
I almost brought extras of those.
Yeah.
They're in my basement.
They work.
Hey, I'm
do.
going to ask you something because I was telling Preston and Steve this earlier this morning. I'm going to make some chili on Sunday. And I'm not a chef. I'm not a cook. But I had this thought in my mind. And the recipe that I saw called for 2 pounds of ground beef.
Got it.
What I wanted to do, and let me know what you think about this, is I wanted to, instead of doing 2 pounds of ground beef, I want to do 1 pound of ground beef and then 1 pound of like a Jimmy Dean hot sausage.
Yes.
Okay.
The only thing you're going to have is you're going to have a lot more fat.
Okay.
Because the ground beef is typically going to be like an 80-20 or something like that.
They were calling for 90-10. I don't know if I can
because
find
of the
that
fat.
anywhere.
You can. I mean, Whole Foods and all those guys carry it.
Yeah.
But if you want to, you can always just get that ground beef and then substitute the additional protein side of it with another beef. Like I would take a short rib or chuck or something like that and just dice it up and add it in there. It's going to cook and there's going to be more fat that comes out of that Jimmy Dean, but you're going to have a lot more flavor that's going to come out of it. You're just going to have to skim the top of it.
Okay.
Chili's big in my house.
Mine as well. It's funny, Casey, that you're doing that. My brother just did it over the weekend. He made venison chili in Colorado. Yeah. So Brian, like, what's your favorite non-quote unquote traditional meat to use in a recipe? He brought us birria today. Do you like elk? Do you like venison, bison, that kind of thing?
You know what? I like that stuff in a restaurant. It's one of those things that I like to get in a restaurant because of the fact that they're going to do something with it that I'm not going to do at my house. Plus, at my house, they're not the most adventurous people. I'm not going to lie. I've got a lot of females in my house that like to eat specific things. So venison and elk is not one of them. At all. Yeah.
We bought some bison the other day. Bison steaks were on sale, and I seasoned them up. I marinated them because they're a little bit.
They're lean.
They're very lean.
Yeah.
So a
It
little
tastes
less
like
flavor.
a hamster.
They
Very close. Yeah. Different bone structure, but really close.
In like Ecuador. They eat things like hamsters.
Guinea pig.
Guinea pig. That's it. Yeah. It's a delicacy of sorts.
Yeah.
But anyhow, bison's good. Bison's solid.
It's also really good for you. That's the thing. I mean, it's just a better protein for you. And as I'm getting older, I've made a lot of different changes with the way that I cook because of the fact that, look, we don't want to sit here and talk about inflammation and joint pain and all that stuff and what
It's so
sugar does to
sexy.
you.
Yeah. But you got to roll back to bison when you find yourself wandering around Yosemite. It's become too much.
Have you ever been out there and seen it? It is wild. And they've actually, like species that are happening out there are becoming not existent. They're becoming non-extinct anymore or completely off of the list because of the conservation efforts that have happened out there.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
And when you're driving down that road and you see a herd come rolling down past you, it is an unbelievable, and you feel it like in your bones. It's pretty wild.
It is crazy.
So you're going to be at the event at the Oaks, the Philadelphia Convention Center at Oaks on Saturday,
13th.
And it will be from noon till 4. You can get tickets at biteforthefight.com. Anything else you want to mention while you're here?
No, I mean, come on out and look, even if you can't make it, I understand that people have lives and this is Thursday, and if you can't make it, go to the site, bid on one of these things. That money is going to go directly to people who need it. It's going to go right to the people at CHOP that are looking for the help.
Yeah.
It's an expensive thing to get sick.
Yep, most definitely. All right, man, it's good to see you. Thank you.
You guys as well. Thank you
Food's
so much.
fantastic. Chef Brian Duffy joining us this morning. We're going to take a quick break, come back in a second. More of the Back School A to Z, so stay there.
So I'm going 75 down Broadway, and the cops pull into the high school behind me as I'm carrying Taco Bell in.
Okay.
So, I was the last to be able to leave.
Oh, so they made a rule you couldn't leave campus anymore.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you ruined it for everybody. I blame the teacher.
So do I.
I blame the teacher, Carl.
What's that?
I said I blame the teacher on that one.
Oh, he was awesome. I can't, I'm not going to...
All
right.
That's
I bet you can't get there and back.
I wonder when because when I was in high school, they allowed us to leave campus at lunch as well. If you had a car, at some point that stopped. But we took advantage of that every day.
It was huge in my high school. I think, and then there was one part where of the year where a kid got hurt. And I think that's what put the kibosh on it.
All right. Well, awesome examples. Thanks for your call. Think about that today. Talk amongst your friends. They made a rule because I did this. We got to take a break because we're going live on Fox Good Day
Yes,
today.
that's right.
Let's break and come back with that as well. The Bizarre File coming up. Stay with us. We'll return shortly.
Well-made displays.
I think it was a Pokemon,
Yeah.
And this kid apparently knocked it over and broke it.
Like smashed it.
And what the guy didn't know, the dad didn't know, is it was like
$5,000.
Yeah, it was like this $7,000 thing. And sorry, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Now they went back and they ended up watching video, and the kid wasn't like playing around with it or something like that. He had
just knocked it
he had
over.
leaned on it or something along those lines, and so he knocked it over and it
But I would imagine like bigger stores, I don't know where they are. They have some sort of insurance that if something like that happens, you're not going to make the parent pay for $1,000 ceramic Pikachu.
I've heard stories of like, again,
I mean, I've seen
the old adage is you break it, you bought it.
Right, you break it, you buy it. And I've seen that at like smaller stores, like especially if they sell glass items, like, especially down the shore. Like some of those, little shops down there, if you take the kids in, like you could see everybody tense up and like there's a little sign that says you break it, you buy it.
I could see you, the owners, like if you walk in, and so we don't have kids, but when people come in with like small kids into places like that, like in New Hope,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like,
my words before I go in are don't touch anything.
Yeah. No, and I get nervous around stuff like that. If there's shelves with like hundreds of plates or just fragile things.
Yeah.
Like I purposely bring my arms in closer to my body as I walk along.
Likewise.
I try to shrink myself up as much as possible because I know I'm just going to knock something over.
Some help, please?
Yeah.
Because you're terrible. Because you could walk. If you were to go, the way you normally go through, you knock over one thing, you're looking at $300 or $400.
I see Jace's eyes though, like I watch him and he's like, "Oh, mom," and what's this? And like he wants to touch it, so that's his way of being like, "Oh, what? I was just asking what it was. I wanted to see what it was. Put it
Don't touch it
down. Don't touch it.
Kill you.
It's $10,000."
So I definitely want to hear the you broke it, you bought it stories, 215-263-WMMR, whether it was you or your kid or whatever, because we've all had that happen.
So I don't know if she ever had to buy it. She might actually be listening right now, but I had a friend who was at a store and there was in the middle of the store was a nail polish set up. And I think she tripped and fell, and she fell into the nail polish, and all of the nail polish shattered on the floor, broke. Wait, she pretended like she was passed out because she didn't want to get up.
Shut up.
She pretended like she was like knocked out.
Oh, that's great.
And so when they got her up,
that's
she was
great.
like, "Oh my God."
I'm pretending I passed out.
Yeah. She said it's the whole store smelled like nail polish. She didn't know what to do, and so like her friends like escorted her out, and she pretended like she was like super hurt. Meanwhile, they got into the car and they were like hysterical laughing.
Did she just say things like, "I hope the baby survives"?
Oh my God. What I was going to ask, and I've never done this myself, is if you've ever broken something and then try to like hide it on a shelf, underneath other things or way in the back.
Oh, right.
But that's a much better story.
You
Oh, my
pretend you're
God.
just pretend. That's good advice, though. If you break something, pretend you passed out.
By the way, a side subject from this, but whenever you see a movie or a TV show and somebody's walking through the store and there's an elaborate display of some kind of a pyramided,
You know what's going to happen.
You know what's happening, right?
It's like the guys in the movies who have large panes of glass that they're walking across the street with those suction things. You know it's going to happen.
All right, let me get some calls here. I'm going to go with Kyle. Hey, Kyle, good morning.
Hey, Mom, turn the radio down.
What's up, Kyle?
Hey, what's going on? So what if a guy threw a shoe at me? Good morning, guys. When I was a little kid, the local grocery store had like this big, huge display of tomato sauce. They had this like huge family-sized jar. And like any other kid, I'd get lost in the grocery store and wander around. And it was back in the day when your parents didn't care. They kind of hoped that one or two of you wandered off.
Right.
And I knocked over this. It had to have been gallons of pasta sauce into the aisle of the grocery store.
Man.
And these are glass containers?
Oh, yeah. And I'm 5, so I think I could just brush it aside and clean it up. Nobody will know. So I come back to find my mom holding broken pieces of glass with pasta sauce all over my hands.
Oh, man. Oh.
She must have thought you were bleeding out.
That's what she thought. She said, "Oh my God, what's blood? What's pasta sauce?" Like it was horrifying.
Hey, Kyle, did they make your folks pay for it, or was there any sort of did they kick your ass out of the store? What happened?
I think they looked at our family funny after that because they knew we were the pasta people. But I'm not sure if they made her pay for it. But if they did, it was probably a couple $100 worth of pasta.
So that's something where they made this like. You talk about having insurance, and I think you're right. For the most, insurance will cover a lot of this stuff. But also, what if it's something that that the store is made, or it's a one of a kind, or a display?
All right, I do have this story. It's a little bit off topic, but it does involve breaking something, and I had already paid for it. And this is me as a full-grown adult. I had gone to a liquor store and I had bought a bottle of gin, okay?
Yeah.
And I was, why did I go back? And anyway, I think I had already paid for it and I forgot something. I came back into the store and I was in the back of the store and I dropped it and it just shatters. And I've already paid for it. And I'm like, you gotta be good. Or maybe I went outside and dropped it. Anyhow, I dropped this and I was like, Bluto in Animal House. When they dropped the booze, like, I just paid for this bottle. And I bring it back in. I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. I'm like,
can you fix it?
Can you fix this? No, but what they told me, and I did not know that with alcohol like that, as long as the seal on the cap was not broken, they could take it and give me another one.
Really?
So they did?
Yeah. So they gave me another one. So as long as that seal was not broken, that proved that you didn't drink some out of it and go, oops, I dropped it and I need a new one, that they could give me another one.
So they didn't see you with the straw in the parking lot.
Right. I made a little hole.
I was at a store just this past weekend at the beach. It was kind of like Terrain, Kathy. Think about it, where it's like it has all these cute like knickknacks, bric-a-bracs, and kitchen things. Plus, you can get lunch there. So while you order, go and you shop around. And it's beautiful, like pottery and dishes. Everything is breakable.
Yeah.
In the end, it's very tight aisles, and there's lots of things on the floor. So there's not just things on tables, but this woman leaned in, and she must have kicked a stand that was set up under the table, and it just started shattering. But it wouldn't stop shattering. There was at least like 9 dishes that fell.
And those displays, once it's like that, they're going.
Here's the only thing I think she had going for her. It was definitely like all high school kids that were working there, and everyone was like, what to do? Sorry.
Well,
enjoy
that's the
your
same
macaroons.
thing. I get so nervous when I'm at Cracker Barrel and you're in that store part. And I remember one time, Preston, I knocked over a Mel Tillis CD and cracked the jewel case. And I was like, oh my God, this must be worth, I don't know, $1,
right? Oh, God. Here's a text that says, knocked over saxophone off of a stand in a Sam Ash while test driving bass guitar. Bent the horn into an oval shape upon impact. $2,700 later, guess what I own now?
Oh my
God. So what are the parameters of the law or insurance coverage? What are they within their rights to exact from you if you are responsible for breaking something they deem? In other words, are they compelled to go? Is it like when you get into an accident and you decide, Kathy, like your situation, are we going to go through insurance or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you do it outside of that?
I had the same question. What happens if you get in an accident when you're test driving a car?
That's a good question.
You bought
it.
No.
Ding it, you bought it?
I think you sign up for their insurance policy when you take the car off the lot. Don't quote me on that, but I think like in order to do a test drive, you have to sign something that says you are somewhat culpable.
I promise not to break it.
Right. We're going to calls. You broke it, you bought it. 215-263 WMMR. I have Laura on the line. Hey, Laura. Good morning.
Good morning. If I had a hammer,
I'd hammer in the morning.
I'd beat you with the hammer.
Then I'd flee town.
What's up, Laura?
So recently at a pet store in Harleysville, I
know which one. I know which one. Go ahead.
Yes. We live very close to it, and I took my dog in there to buy dog food, thinking I would spend $30 or $40. And he peed on the entire display rack of handmade raincoats for dogs. And the lady was so pissed. Mind you, if it was like a bigger box store like PetSmart, something, like they probably would have been like, oh, you know, they have
Right.
cleanup stations. Have a great day. No, this lady was. She gave me like devil eyes, and she's like, well, now we can't sell them, blah, blah, blah. So they made me buy $50 dog rain jackets. So if anyone is in the market for
Now,
of sizes.
a rain jacket, all moisture
Right?
of any type should run right off of that.
Yeah.
And,
I know.
And by
I
the
felt
way,
so
how do
pressured.
you home make? What do you knit a rain? Do you ever
Well,
see
it's
like
probably
knitted raincoats?
It's hand sewn to fit a dog. I mean,
But I mean,
they're
it's-
probably not mass producing raincoats for dogs.
But I mean, as Preston points out, it's usually some sort of water repellent
It is.
material.
And that's why I was so pissed, because I was like, just wipe it off. Just Clorox wipe the damn.
How many did you have to buy?
3.
So you spent $150 on raincoats.
And also, you're bringing an animal into a store, and they know that from time to time,
They're
an
gonna
animal
pee.
might do something like that. You, as a human being, have very little control over that.
That's why Petco has the Fabergé eggs up on a higher shelf.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
So
sucks,
they
Laura.
They have since moved that display rack, by the way. I
Yeah.
have been there. I thought I would never show my face there again, but I have.
You have to.
And they moved the display rack to a more higher up, which they should have been in the first.
In the first place, yes, absolutely.
All right, thank
Enjoy
you,
the
Laura.
raincoats.
Yeah. Hope for rain.
Anyone's in the market for raincoats.
Get to use them. Let's go to Keith next. Hey, Keith, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, Bob. All right, thank you very much, Marissa. And again, I want to mention, Marissa, tonight, Thursday night kickoff is happening in Center City. And Marissa is going to be at the Top Tomato Bar and Pizza tonight from 7 to 9. It is at 11th and Sansom, if you've never been there before. And stop in because she's going to have a pair of tickets for the game coming up on the 21st against the Rams for you to win, courtesy of our friends at Bud Light. And while you're there, there's $4 Bud Light cans and drafts. And you can win other prizes like the Kelly Green MMR T-shirts and cozies and more. So WMMR.com for the details. But just keep in mind, that's tonight, Top Tomato Bar and Pizza, 11th and Sansom from 7 to 9.
And BirdBot will be on hand as well, right?
Yeah. So come by and get a picture with BirdBot and Marissa. All right, B-File time.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Liberty Safes of New Jersey. They want you to shop smarter for a safe. Shop one of their showrooms on Horizon Drive in Hamilton or Route 73 in Mount Laurel, or you can go to libertysafesnj.com. One of the quirkiest corners of the Japanese economy is the rent-a-person industry.
Yes.
In Japan, there are agencies from whom you can hire a grandma, a middle-aged man, or pretend siblings. As any industry matures, new companies will spring up for differentiation against existing providers. And it seems as though one organization has carved out a new niche for itself with Rental Kawahito, a company founded last month on the concept of allowing consumers to rent what's called Kawaii Hito, or scary people.
To rent scary people.
Their website specifies that they rent out people with intimidating appearances, and they have pictures of men with shaved heads, bulky physiques, and prominent tattoos of the types associated with the Yakuza organized crime syndicates.
Dude, I found a fallback career. Yeah.
The company says that these scary people are available for accompanying customers when resolving interpersonal disputes, such as dealing with people who bully you in the workplace, neighbors who continue to be noisy no matter how much you tell them to be quiet, and trouble with men or women involved in cheating or extramarital affairs.
You have to order way ahead for Karen Ball Snatcher, Preston.
Several online commenters expressed that paying someone to create a menacing atmosphere with a vague implication of violence in order to coerce other people to do what you want them to is a service that's been offered for many years. by gangsters
Yes.
and mobsters.
It's called extortion by force.
One of these scenarios says that it can help with is one in which a customer feels like they're still owed back pay by a former employer, but bypassing the court system and settling your financial disagreements by rolling up to negotiations with your own personal thugs and telling them they better pay up seems like a sort of thing that you could potentially open you up for various criminal charges such as extortion and assault.
Yeah, it's a problem. I wonder if they've explored the option of renting out people for sex. Is that something that happens?
Maybe. Yeah. Similarly, the company says that it could send a team of burly, angry-looking guys to accompany a woman while she confronts a woman her husband has been cheating with, which, again, seems like a sort of intimidation tactic that could get you in trouble with the law, but they have it available as of now. We'll see how long it lasts.
So there's a new movie coming out with Brendan Fraser where he is an actor who becomes one of these services. He rents himself out in Japan, and it looks really good.
Santa Barbara County Sheriff's deputies on Friday arrested 3 men suspected of stealing nearly $2,000 of perfume from a store. Shortly before 2 p.m. on Friday, a caller called from Ulta Beauty and reported the suspects had fled the store with stolen cologne and perfume in a red sedan headed toward Highway 101.
I mean, the reality is that's only like 20 bottles. I don't want to say only, but like
$2,000 worth?
Yeah.
It depends on what they got.
Yeah. If it's high karate, probably a little bit more.
Deputies spotted the car and pulled it over. As deputies approached, they were met with an overwhelming scent of cologne coming from inside the car.
You boys going out tonight?
During their search, they recovered approximately $1,900 worth of perfume and cologne, linking the 3 occupants to the theft. Officers booked the 3 suspects for felony organized retail theft.
Yeah, I was just talking about this yesterday with my daughter because, my son for Christmas a couple of years ago had gotten, like $100 or whatever, and he wanted cologne. I said, all right, well, you're going to have to buy it yourself. So I took him to Macy's to get cologne, and $100 didn't even cover. I was like, I'll cover the rest, buddy.
Okay.
It was like $120 or something like that.
A pretty decent cologne then, didn't it? Yeah.
An unusual discovery was made along the Chicago River, stemming from a cold case investigation that dates back to 1970. An independent dive team using sonar technology to search for a couple who disappeared decades ago instead found dozens of submerged vehicles. When the Chaos drivers arrived at the Richard J. Dealey boat launch, they were looking for clues that could help solve the mysterious disappearance of Edward and Stefina Andrews dating back to 1970. In search of one car in particular, they found not 1, not 2, not even 3 cars, but 97 vehicles.
97!
Between Cicero Avenue and Diversey Parkway in the Chicago River.
How many of those still had their left signal on?
Jacob Grubbs, the owner of Chaos Divers, said it's not uncommon for us to find vehicles. So far, 75 cars have been cleared, meaning they are not connected to the group's cold case investigation. From what the team could gather, no human remains were inside those vehicles either.
Can you think of 97 cars?
Yeah. On Wednesday, the Chicago Police Department's dive team responded to the boat launch to recover one of the vehicles. Officials with the Chaos Divers said the vehicle was impeding boat traffic. When the Nissan was pulled from the river near 31st Street and Western Avenue, it was a mangled mess, in part due to larger boats striking it over time. You think they would have gotten rid of that?
Yes!
If it was causing problems for the boats going through there. But no, they just left it. Their search continues, though nothing has been tied to the Andrews case. They are checking license plates and VIN numbers of the vehicles that they uncovered and will turn their findings over to
Any
law
survivors?
enforcement. No survivors as of now.
Bummer.
One last story. A couple of weeks ago, a tourist in Italy found the person who picked her pocket and held her by the hair until police arrived. Video of that encounter went viral, and that leads us to this story. Italian pickpockets are now fighting back against those who take videos of them committing their crimes, claiming that they're being stopped without authorization and being filmed without consent. They've now been emboldened to file a complaint accusing those videoing their actions of stalking.
Is that a law in Italy that you cannot be recorded in public without consent?
Don't know. These complaints have brought about questions as to where civic duty ends and unlawful behavior begins. With that,
I was trying to pickpocket this man and he recorded me.
With that comes what's being called the legal gray area in Italy that needs a solution from elected officials who want to deter crime while not encouraging everyday citizens to take the law into their own hands. But yeah, they this woman busted this gal cold.
Yeah.
And so now it's leading them to complain about it. All right, and there you go. That's what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. Our friends from Piccalillian are here. We have had lots of food today, which is great. And we thank the gang from the Pick for dropping off the goodies. The newly remodeled Piccalillian has all kinds of buffalo-style goodies, from mac and cheese, egg rolls, or chicken cheesesteaks to shrimp scallops and more. For specials, you can follow The Pick on Facebook, by the way. But if you'd like to find out for yourself what's up, I have a $50 gift card. We'll take caller number 14 at 610-660-9333. Piccalillian is located 866 Route 206 in Shamong, New Jersey. And you can check them out, like I said, on Facebook, or go to Piccalilli.com. And Lily is spelled Lilli. Piccalilli. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back in a second. More with the Back to School A to Z. Some Dave Matthews when we return. And we'll get lesson question, trash, and music news.
1999, when those Dell computers came out that were all different colors.
Yes.
So, all right. And they were probably like $1,000 when they came out, right? Maybe.
Yeah. I put that about that price. Yeah, I think you're on the right path.
So we ride our bikes up to the Best Buy, look at video games, not even really looking at them. And they're all on these shelves. My buddy is a moron and goes, wait, does the shelf pull out? So he tries to pull it out, and all these computers fall behind like two shelves and smash. There's also like CD players on there, like heavy stuff.
Of course.
Just smashes. All of them broke. So managers come over, they grab us up, and they're like, hey, man, like, where's your parents? We don't have any. We're orphans.
We're orphans.
And
I'm Batman.
They're like naming off prices, like it's the years of like they're going. Yeah, that's like 1977. That's so it's coming to like $8,000, which I thought I'd never see that money in my life. So we're like, all right, well, can we call our parents? And they're like, so you're orphans, whatever. So as we're walking to the office, my friend's just like, time to go. And we just dip, get on our bikes. And, like, I've never been back to Deptford. So
You've never been back to Deptford.
The entire
just in
town
case.
behind you.
Even though you've grown up into an adult. So you guys just bolted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's probably why Best Buy's going out of business.
Probably what you did in 1999.
Oh, my God, Keith, I love that story. Oh, man. And listen, as a kid, you just panic, man. You just get out of there. I could totally see that.
Well, when parents have like ultra grabby kids, and you can see, they go into a store like that. You see the law being laid down and kids are just,
Yeah, just grabbing.
Yeah.
I feel like, or even fire alarms to kids. You know what I mean? If they can reach that, like stuff like that too.
Here's a text. Listen to this. It says, my 3-year-old thinks it's hilarious to grab candy bars off the shelf and take a bite with the wrapper on, forcing me to buy them every time. I guess that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
You can, if you want that candy, you definitely a bite. You're going to be buying it.
Can you do the same with like a Lamborghini if you go to the dealership and just a bite? Yeah, chew on the wind.
I'm guilty of like smushing the candy to see if it's fresh, and then putting that one back and getting another one.
Getting another fresh one?
What are you doing? How can you get a not fresh candy bar?
Or like a
Sometimes-
pastry?
Yeah, or like
She just digs her
Twizzlers.
fingers into the
Did
pastry.
you do the same with the produce, like apples, and take a little bite? Nah, this is good.
No, but I do tell myself that no matter what the apple is, like somebody else picked over that apple.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, while I'm spending too much time trying to pick the right apple, I'm thinking like this apple was picked over by somebody else.
No, I don't know what you mean. Picked over.
Like somebody
passed up on it.
Somebody
Okay.
else didn't take it home.
Wasn't a good one.
Yes,
So
and
it's
how
not
does
the
that how
best
does that
one.
make you feel?
Preston, you wanna unpack this right now?
I'm not understanding. So you're saying that all good apples are taken already, and you're with the dregs?
Yeah. I'm like the second best apples are left.
What if they put them out and you've got to pick of the litter?
What if you just got there?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I never
You don't
thought of
know.
it that way.
Thanks. See,
This is, a
turned it
moral,
around.
this is a moral crisis you're going through now.
God, I need to talk to you guys more often.
Here's a text that says, "Color Me Mine sends me into a cold sweat. I loudly lectured my 2 children during a very crowded holiday weekend not to touch anything. Then picked up one of the largest ceramics,
I'm not sure what that word is.
a Senkan cookie jar. Flipped it upside down to see the price, and the head flew off,
Oh, no.
bounced twice, and then shattered.
So the person did it, not the kid?
The adult.
I guess so, yeah.
To get it away from the kids.
Oh, my God.
It was so much.
I love that.
The cost, but the audible gasps from all the other mothers there was the worst.
That space, Preston. It's like when you get kicked in the balls, and that time that it freezes in time for the pain. When something like glass, you drop it, it has the clink clink, lifts up, for like a nanosecond, and then comes back down. It's always the second or third bounce on which it crashes. It's like, God damn it.
Here's a text that says, "Regarding you break it, you bought it. I'm a civil attorney. If a store puts something on display that they they take the risk that something may be broken,
Right.
and there is no need to pay for it. You do not have to pay for anything that gets broken unless you do it intentionally."
Go take those raincoats back.
Take it back.
Yeah.
And she takes him back. She should piss on. Yeah. So that's
That's
interesting.
what I mean. It's part of like the insurance. It's like if somebody were to come into your store and get hurt, like you have, you know what I'm saying? You have insurance that's going to cover.
I think they're saying that by what this gentleman or woman is saying, it's because they have opted to put this out as a display. You are absolved, from anything having to do with that.
Yeah.
So you can't be compelled to pay for this then.
Yeah,
right.
I think that's the
Even
right
if
thing.
your dog pissed on it.
This wasn't a you break it, you buy it thing, but maybe it was. Remember, we had a conversation about they made a rule because of me.
Oh.
Right.
This didn't break it, but I reached out and pushed the Liberty Bell when I was 6, and the whole thing swung on its mount.
Oh my God.
Holy Jesus.
Not sure that they would let me take it home if I broke it, though.
Well, it's already broken.
Like when they ceremonially ring that bell, they take a little soft mallet and just touch it to it. Like they don't actually hit it. And So the fact that this guy reached out and pushed it and it swung, they had to have freaked out when that happened. And then they went to a cave in Hawaii.
Yes, and then Vincent Price.
By the way, Casey's not here today. In case you hear some mystery sounds, Marissa is doing her damnedest, doing her best to wrangle the sound effects. So,
Jace didn't break anything, but he loves cars and he loves exotic cars. We saw a Lamborghini parked in front of a hotel, and Mom, can I go look at the headlights? He's obsessed with the front of the car headlights. I said, yeah, sure, go ahead. And so he walks over, inspecting it, and then he's like, wow, he's like, this is so cool. And I'm like slightly across the street just waiting for him. And as he walks around the side of the car, he takes his hand and he runs it down the whole side of the car. Now, listen, not a big deal. He didn't scratch
Was he
anything.
holding keys?
But no, but people who have that car, like now it's like a little kid's handprint down the whole side of his car. I was like, oh man.
Look, I got the hood ornament, Mommy.
Yeah, seriously. I was like,
that used to be a thing.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Here's a text that says, used to work at Walmart, broke an extremely expensive exercise equipment piece. I was bored out of my mind and I was doing something I shouldn't have been doing and knocked it off the shelf and shattered a bunch of pieces on it. I put it back on the shelf, set it up so that it looks okay. Customer went to use it weeks later and it broke instantly.
What'd you do?
Customer was embarrassed and was just happy found out it was me.
Dear God, man, don't you have any sense
Oh, my God.
of how fragile things are?
Sir, what are you doing?
Have some respect for the people of the store who work diligently to make sure these things are safely displayed.
Wow.
You are to leave this Walmart.
Well, it happens. It definitely happens. So, all right. Well, thank you for the stories. We appreciate that. We do need to take a break. As I said earlier, Casey is out today, so Marissa Magnata is playing the role of Casey Boy here in our studio today, and she's handing me things to give away, and I will comply because we have tickets to see Jurassic World Dominion.
Cool.
We have a 4-pack of tickets, and this screening will be Tuesday the 7th, so it'll be a week from today. At 7 p.m. at the UA King of Prussia, and then it hits theaters on June 10th. So we'll take callers 8, 9, and 10 at 215-263-WMMR, and those passes are on us. And while you're calling, you may want to text as well when you get a chance, because we have a Tattoo Day today. It's a chance for win with $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing for your Preston and Steve themed tattoo. They are located at 1729 South Street in Philly, and you can check out their artwork samples. Go to floatingworldtattoo.com or do a search on the Instagram. You'll be able to check them out there, too. We'll take a break. I got some B-File stories. I think you're going to like them. We'll get to them when we return. Stay there.
You know, Adam Sandler's a good actor.
Yeah.
The trailer looks solid. You know that they were authentically shooting all around the area.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very psyched.
Yep. Case you kind of exhaled. What?
Rocky's number one, right?
I don't know. Let's find out. Well, yes, of course it's going to be number one, right?
No, it's not. No.
All right, so
it's Racing Stripes.
Number 10 on this list is Rocky 2. So that's when he ends up beating Apollo, right?
Yeah. You know what? I like Rocky too. It's not, oddly enough, it's very dismissible for me.
To me, it seems like Rocky was so successful that they were like, we need to do Rocky over again, but he wins.
You kind of nailed it, and it was sort of the inevitable. He had to win. It was. So I guess that's why it held less impact. Because you knew what was going to happen, and he had to win, and they had the Adrian in the coma in the hospital and all that stuff. It was Stallone directing, and he proved he could direct.
Steve, so you mentioned Adrian. MB 93.3 WMMR, everything that rocks. Dave has so much to say on this back to school A to Z topic, of which we are in the so's. Let's see, Case, can I have the list of... Or I got it over here. I'm sorry.
Am I right?
We had so much to say, and we have 1, 2, 3 more so songs. We're only going to have time to play one more, and it is... Man, it's tough to say which is my favorite of the so songs.
You can't say which so?
Well, So Lonely, I know it's... Man, that ranks up there, but this one would probably be number 2 for me that we'll get to next. Yeah,
all right, now I'm intrigued.
All right, it is time to ask a lesson question. Today's prize, by the way, pair of tickets is MMR Rocks Slayer. Saturday, September 20th at Hershey Park. Here's the question for you. Who is Clayface's sidekick?
Oh, man, I don't remember.
215-263-W. I'll give you a clue. He wears a hat. That's all I can say. Okay. All right. Who is Clayface's sidekick? That was said close to 7 o'clock this morning. 610-660-9333. The whole point of the lesson question is to see if you've been listening for hours on end. And so that's why we go back a few hours and see if you've been paying attention.
And people will take notes. They're like, okay, Steve just said that. I'm going to write that down.
Well, let's see if somebody gets on board and answers a question. 610-660-9333, and we'll do the trash while you call.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Screwball Whiskey. Say screw hunger with Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. And support Camp Out for Hunger. Grab a bottle and save $2 at Fine Wine and Good Spirits, PA. Steve, what you got this morning?
Well, Preston, John Reap, the 2007 winner of The Last Comic Standing, has been arrested on child porn charges in North Carolina. Reap had been raising red flags for years with his opening line, "What is it with laws against possessing child pornography?"
Oh, my God.
Prince Harry returned to the UK yesterday for the first face-to-face with his father, King Charles, in over a year. Things reportedly started off icy, but later ended up with King Charles pushing Harry in a tire swing.
Hey!
Isn't that wonderful? And finally, Kanye West has been ordered by an LA judge to sit down for a deposition in a lawsuit filed against him by a former employee. Excuse me. The order sent West scrambling to get over to the dry cleaners to have his Nazi uniform pressed.
All right, here we go with searching for an answer for the question, who is Clayface's sidekick? And it is Dan that got through, so we'll check in with him first. Hi, Dan. Good morning. All right, Dan. Good one, by the way. Who is Clayface's sidekick?
Asshat.
Asshat. Yep, hang on, bud. Just got yourself a pair of tickets to see Slayer, who are playing September 20th at Hershey Park Stadium. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah. Brought to you by Temple Football. Be there as Temple clashes with nationally ranked Oklahoma this Saturday at noon at Lincoln Financial Field. You can get your tickets today by visiting owlstix.com. So Hulu has released a trailer for the upcoming docuseries called Into the Void, Life, Death, and Heavy Metal. The 8-part docuseries will feature interviews and performances with some of the biggest names in classic rock and metal, including Phil Anselmo of Pantera, Judas Priest, Ozzy, and Sharon Osbourne, and more. And the series premieres on September 22nd.
This reminds me of a docuseries that came out not so long ago. I'm just trying to think of like what it was, because it was a very, very extensive.
Yes.
Do you know
we were promoting it in advance.
I know the one you're talking about, and I think it leaned more on like the hair metal.
That's what it was. That's what it was. It was hair metal. Yep.
Yep. So, and I didn't see it, and I should find it and go back and watch it.
I did. It was very good.
Nice. Wolfgang Van Halen released a new song. It's called I Really Wanna. It's from the band Mammoth, of course, and it appears to be taking some shots at David Lee Roth.
Whoa.
The music video shows Wolfgang playing all the instruments himself as usual, while also playing another character who is in a flashy red shirt and sunglasses who looks bored in the background. Music experts think this character is meant to represent Roth based on clues in the lyrics. Let's look at the lyrics, so I don't really know what it's all about. The song is the third single from Mammoth's upcoming album, The End, which comes out October 24th.
There's this guy that I don't even know what his name is, but he shows up on my Instagram feed where he tells us like these cool stories about how these things happen in rock history.
Yeah, I've seen this dude. He's kind of a little portly.
Yeah, well, he wears like a fedora and stuff like that. And most recently, yesterday, I saw, and I never knew how Sammy Hagar ended up in Van Halen. But Eddie went to this mechanic to...
His name is Claudio.
What's that?
He's a famous mechanic, Claudio, who works on race cars.
Yeah.
I know this story well.
Yeah, and so Eddie is there, and he sees this awesome Ferrari, and it turns out it was Sammy Hagar's, and Van Halen had just broken up, and the mechanic was like, hey, that's Sammy Hagar's. You should call him and get him in your band.
Is that wild?
And he did.
There you go. Exactly how it happened. Eddie had his Lambo in, and Sammy had his Ferrari in, and Claudio got them together. So it was pretty cool.
That's how we met. Except
I
was bringing my Pinto in for service.
Yep, and I have my Gremlin. Yep. Next,
you guys should talk.
Turned into history. Wolfgang will go on tour starting October 31st with special guest Miles Kennedy. This marks the first album where he dropped WVH from the band name and is just going by Mammoth, of course. Sting, we were talking about him earlier, and we spoke to him last week, will release The Last Ship, the expanded edition, on December 5th, featuring 5 new recordings ahead of 2026 international tour of his musical. The stage production will be performed in Paris, Amsterdam, and Brisbane, with more cities to be announced. And the album is available digitally on 2 CD and 2 LP, builds on the 2013 Deluxe Edition with fresh material inspired by Sting's hometown shipbuilding communing in Wallsend. The work explores themes of home, loss, and resilience.
Does he suggest if there are any more ships to come, or is this the last ship?
I think this is the last ship. He said, I literally grew up in the shadow of the yard, in his statement, calling the project a tribute to the people who shaped him. The expanded edition also features new liner notes by Barney Norris. And then finally, Baz Luhrmann and Elvis Presley are, it seems, forever intertwined. While speaking at the Toronto International Film Festival about his new documentary, Epic Elvis Presley in Concert, which unearths long-lost concert footage from Elvis's Las Vegas residency, the filmmaker confirmed his long-discussed stage musical adaptation of his 2022 is also formally in the works. Lerman, of course, directed Elvis, which starred Austin Butler as a legendary musician and Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker. And now Lerman is back with Epic Elvis Presley in Concert, a documentary feature for which Lerman had restored lost concert footage of Elvis along with previously unseen footage from a pair of concert documentaries, which were 1970s Elvis, This Is the Way It Is, and 1972's Elvis on Tour. So he started hearing about lost footage when he was preparing the movie, the Elvis movie, not this documentary. He said the tapes were mythical. No one knew. Did they really exist? And he had a team go into the salt mines in Kansas where MGM keeps all of its negatives. And he said the vaults were like Raiders of the Lost Ark. He said, I'm not exaggerating. It was in the mines.
Throw me the tapes.
It was in the mines that he found 30 nanner sandwiches. Why did it have to be nanner sandwiches? I hate nanner sandwiches. No, so it was in the mines that he found 35 hours of negative, although there was no magnetic tape. So they had to find secondary sources to create the audio.
That's pretty wild.
So he ended up working with Peter Jackson.
I was wondering.
And the team at Park.
And now Gollum's in it.
Park Road. And he had also helped on some recent Beatles documentaries to find appropriate audio. Slowly, the project came together. And sometimes he would...
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Sometimes he would mix and match audio and video. Sometimes he would use an array of assets, a combination between his original vocal on stage, some recorded vocal, and he said our own orchestrations as well to create what Lerman called a dreamscape. So
it's pretty wild.
They went to great lengths to put this stuff
I'd be
together.
curious to see what that ends up looking like.
Yeah.
Because you pretty much assume you've seen everything Elvis.
Yeah, but I was looking at a quick clip that Nick pulled up on Boz Lerman's Instagram account, and it's the svelte, good-looking, late 1960s Elvis.
Precious.
Yeah. All right, and that is what I have in music news. We are going to take a break. We'll come back in just a second. We'll play that song that I love in the so's of the S in the Back to School A to Z. Stay there. We'll be right back.
What are we waiting for? Come on. Yeah, what are we waiting for? And you see, you don't see it, Preston, but as Mickey's in his zeal to get out of the, he pulls out one of the IVs.
Oh, he yanks the whole thing. She goes,
hey, I got some bad news. Somehow, one of her wires popped out and she's dead.
Is that the one where he chases the chicken too, when he's training him and has
and he's it's really well done. He had the priest. He has the priest that he yells to from the window. He's driving the Trans Am. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's well done.
Is that really where the bells come in, like the dong, and when the Rocky theme starts?
Yes,
like not that.
No, okay.
The hell was that?
You know, is that the bell that they use at Eagles games?
Yeah, they use it a lot in sports events now. It's the best of the pumping you up Rocky theme music.
Yes, I agree. I love that. But Steve, I know I think I speak for you. There's two movies in that franchise, Rocky 1 and Rocky Balboa.
Stop it. And sometimes I'm like, people don't, how can you not, how cool?
Oh, you not?
Yeah.
I both. Those to me capture that spirit. And God almighty, Rocky's so good. I just watched it again in its entirety straight through, and you just appreciate how fantastic it is.
Yeah. Rocky 4 is good. It is a good movie.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's not Rocky 5.
Did you see the director's cut? Did
not
you see
yet.
his edition?
Have you seen it yet?
He tweaked. No, I've seen some of the things that they've done. They removed some of the cheese from it. Stallone did. Again, look at all the... Not only in those movies was Stallone getting into near pass-out, ripped-up shape to be in the movies, he was also writing and directing.
But like for me...
Massive accomplishment.
When did that come out? 87, 88, 89, something like that?
Around that time.
It was, and they catered that movie to me. Do you know what I mean? Like
yes.
to some 13,
it was
14,
a big
15-year-old
hit.
kid. Yeah.
But I think the one like Rocky 3, Clubber Lang, and then it kind of the planet for a while was Rocky 4, and then guy tried to be, really, down to earth.
They tried to dial it back too much.
And that's where they made Rocky just completely brain dead.
I guess Rocky Balboa was the movie Rocky 5 was actually trying to be.
Exactly.
It was just terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah. So is Creed in this franchise?
Creed is in this franchise, but let's move on to this list. Mike Cielski's column of the best and worst Philly sports movies of all time. Number 9, he puts down as Invincible as one of the best.
It's a good movie.
Franchises. Yeah, it is a good movie. There are things I liked about it and other things that didn't touch too well.
That
with
are
me.
cheesy and hokey, but it captures, I think, the spirit of the Philadelphia sports fan. I think it's telling that there's really no victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not. Well,
Right?
no. The victory was
You played really well.
he picked up a fumble and took it in for a touchdown.
Yeah.
Or he had a strip sack or something like that.
You did a good thing there.
I think they got that season case or something like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, a player just did something good.
They didn't win the Super Bowl. They didn't win a playoff game. They won a game.
They won a game.
But he was a nobody.
Yeah.
who
That's
was
the
able
story.
who was able to make a difference in a game.
And
he got a couple of years out of a career out of it.
Totally,
So,
yeah.
And his friends and the bar and his kind of
These things.
The Elizabeth Banks, the girl who she was a Giants fan. Remember, she's from she didn't. And they thought we were going to get together, but they got together. It was very good.
Thank you.
We met a kid yesterday named Holden, and Holden is the son of one of the stars of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, what was the guy's name?
Greg Kinnear?
No.
Stink Fisher.
Stink Fisher, that's
Yeah.
it. So we met Stink Fisher's boy Holden yesterday.
Yeah,
And speaking of Greg Kinnear, he was good as Vermeil.
He was.
He was.
Yeah.
It was really good. So Invincible. Yeah, that's a good. All right, this one I never saw. Warrior.
Yes.
He has his number 8.
That is a really good movie. That's one of the first times I saw Tom Hardy.
Oh, that's the MMA movie?
The MMA movie.
Yeah, okay.
2 brothers, one from Philadelphia, one from Pittsburgh, battle in a mixed martial arts tournament, and in doing so learn how to love each other and come to terms with their family, turmoil, and the darkest mistakes and moments of their past.
It's not a bad movie by any stretch. It's a good movie. It's engaging.
It just sort of wraps up a little bit too quick. I actually just watched it for the first time maybe a month or 2 months ago.
They
And I-
should have had 6 jars of farts.
Well, I just thought it just sort of wrapped up too tidily and too nice and very quickly.
Agreed. You know
You
what,
know?
though? Here's the deal. Do you guys agree with this in general? Give me enough of what a good sports triumph movie should have. I'll play along through the cheesy stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so, and Warriors did that.
And what this movie, so now that we have all these streaming things, so this movie just wrapped up too quickly because they only.
We're supposed to go into space.
No. But they did it. They only had 2 hours to
Right.
get this
Yep.
whole story together. And now with all these streaming platforms, you can give it the treatment that it perhaps needs.
See what Frank Grillo's series did.
Yeah.
You know, it was the same thing. He was able to carry it out over a longer run.
Yep.
Number 7 on this list of best Philly sports movies, Creed. At number 7, and
Creed's
I
great.
liked it. I thought it was a really
And Stallone.
Here's what I loved in Creed, and slight spoiler alert on this, but Rocky's retired. He's definitely not fighting anymore. He's training Apollo Creed's son. But in true Rocky form, find a way to make him train. Fight again, but he's fighting cancer.
Yeah.
And they treat it almost like he's training for a boxing match. And I'm like, they did it.
Brilliant.
I'm like, they did it. They got Rocky to fight without fighting. He's fighting a battle of cancer. And I'm like, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was
like an analogy.
It was
Wait, what?
An analogy. That's when you have hay fever.
How do you spell
That's
that?
an allergy.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I thought
K-A-T.
I thought it was brilliantly done the way they handled that part of it.
Do you know
And-
what it's like in Rocky Balboa, Preston? The conceit that had the video game pairing.
Yeah. How did they make it happen?
Yes,
And they did it.
That was really well done.
And they also in the movie were able to the word John to the rest of the world.
Yeah. That is true. She explains it to him, and they are using it in the movie. And then number 6 on this list, I like this movie. It's a dark movie. Big fan.
Yeah, oh my God! Yeah, with Patton Oswalt.
With Patton Oswalt.
Casey, you got to watch
tremendous
it.
performance.
It's Casey.
I've seen the beginning of it.
As a football fan and somebody who will spar occasionally with Giants fans, you'll love the dynamic between those guys.
Only a little part of it takes place in Philly.
Yeah.
But he has a spat with a guy from Philadelphia Phil is what he calls himself, and that's
Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
And it's a dark look at somebody who really takes their fandom too far.
It's gotten away from them.
Too seriously.
It impacts their life to a ridiculous amount. But Patton Oswalt, I was like, that's my first time seeing him in like a dramatic turn.
Yeah.
I was like, he was really good
All
in
right.
it. But yeah, Casey,
I'll give it a go.
It's a good movie, and it's an interesting dynamic. I don't want to give it away, but he gets put in a strange position where his quote unquote fandom takes over.
Yes.
You'll have to see it.
Plus,
but
there's a radio element.
93.3 WMMR, Van Halen. So This Is Love, my favorite Van Halen album, Fair Warning.
Yeah.
Takes me back to Danny Dunlap's bedroom, jumping around on the bed, the air guitar and all over the places. We would listen to this album and beat it to death. And that is one of my favorite Van Halen songs. And Wolfgang pays tribute to that song. At the very, very end of that song, there's a little ding-ding, little two-note thing. And he does it at the end of one of his songs, and the title is escaping me, but it is clear that he is referencing that song when he recorded that, which is a pretty cool little thing, little added tribute in there. It is 10:27 on this Thursday morning. Beautiful day today, beautiful week. The weekend is going to be fantastic. It's going to be low to mid 80s and sunshine from here until Monday. I don't have a forecast that goes any farther than that right now, but we're looking at great late summer weather.
Certainly down with that.
Yeah, it's been very enjoyable. Couple things we need to do. Some thank yous from our guest on the program today. I would like to thank Brad Williams.
Yeah.
Brad Williams is in the new Spinal Tap movie. He plays one of the druids in the sequence of Stonehenge.
Yes.
Brad, for those who don't know, if you're not familiar, he's an amazing, hilarious comedian. He is a dwarf, and he's jumped at the chance to be a part of that. Him and Wee Man.
Wee Man together for the first time, yeah.
Are the two druids in that scene, and it was great talking to him. He's going to be back in town October, is it 17th or 18th? I think it's the 18th.
No, it's the 17th.
Okay.
It's definitely the 17th.
So he's going to be at Parks Casino.
Nice.
So looking forward to that. And then we had actor Tony Goldwyn on. He was awesome.
He's terrific.
Great to talk to him. Law and Order, Scandal. He's the bad guy, the jerk in the movie Ghost. That's where he kind of burst onto the scene. And he and his daughter have a podcast all about essentially Nepo babies, nepotism, because he comes from a long line of entertainer, industry heavyweights.
Luminaries.
And his daughter has followed in the footsteps, so he talks about that stuff. And it was a cool conversation we had with him. And then we had Chef Brian Duffy in.
Yay.
And Brian's great, man. He always brings us some great food. He has a very cool event coming up. It's Fight Food Festival, benefiting the Fight on McKenna Foundation, who had cancer, and it's to help people who find that in their lives and have to go through treatment and all the expenses that come along with it, and the money goes directly to them and CHOP. So Greater Philadelphia Expo Center on Saturday at noon. It's noon to 4. Tickets available at Bite for the Fight, the number 4 in that website, by the way, biteforthefight.com. Pierre Robert is here.
Good day.
Nice to see you, sir.
Nice to see you, kids. Lovely day outside.
Yes.
As I came in, I noticed in the kitchen we have we have a big garbage can, then we have a big recycling can. And on top of the garbage can,
Casey was already talking about this.
Were these Coffee Mate containers. Yeah. And so there were 3 or 4 of them, and I took the liberty of helping people, and I threw all of them right in the garbage where they belong.
Yeah.
Full. They're full, by the way.
The only reason I didn't throw them away is because they were full. But yesterday, there were 2 empty ones on top.
What is that?
On top of the trash can. We are adults here.
So there's a lid on the trash can. There's a hole in the middle, but there's a lid. And somebody isn't putting them in the hole. They're just setting them on top of the trash can.
Well, these are vile. No one should drink this crap. Coffee made.
You don't like
I mean, this is a chemical feast. I've seen a few of my mates. There you go.
He's going to drink that straight.
Damn right I am.
Oh my God! Don't do it! Oh my God!
Dude, I used to do that all the time.
Me too. Yum.
There's a
What's
way
up?
Pearls before swine. I don't know what.
You don't use that in your coffee. What do you use?
Cream, half and half.
Okay.
You've just deflated me. All the hope that I had, the hope of a generation, the hope that I put in you.
It's over now.
The two of you that met with the Ford Pinto and the Gremlin. That was brilliant, by the way. Because the Van Halen story is true, and then the idea that Preston and Steve meet with the Ford Gremlin.
We got to get these. We have to get these two guys together.
Yeah, look at what they're driving.
Brilliant. But then my hopes so high. I was on Mount Everest, and you took me to Hades. But that's all right. I'll live.
It's all good. So, anything else to report?
Let's do a letter.
All right, let's. There we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter.
C is in coffee.
All right, and we have one more letter to go, and a 4-pack of lower-level tickets is MMR Rocks Adam Sandler. You're my best friend. Friday, September 19th at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. The show is recommended for ages 16 and older. Tickets are on sale now via Ticketmaster.com. If it's any consolation, I have a horrible aftertaste in my mouth right now.
Well,
it's just coated in cream.
And no, it's coated in chemicals. You have ingested enough chemicals to last you for the next 10 years.
Let me tell you, some chemicals taste damn good. Have you ever had an Oreo?
Believe me, I snorted enough of them in the day. So I well know what you're speaking of. Anyway.
What's coming up today, Mom?
Well, we're in the letter S. I always like to hear where you've been. Can you recount what you guys did?
Yeah, we did a lot of SOs today, S-O, and there's only a couple of more left, but we started with Smuggler's Blues.
Sweet.
Great song. Glenn Fry. Then we went Snow, Hey-O, So Cold from Breaking Benjamin. Stained brought us So Far Away, and that's where, we started getting into the SOs. And we had So Far Away from Dire Straits.
Wow.
So Lonely from Police. So Much to Say from Dave Matthews. And then we just wrapped up there with So This Is Love from Van Halen.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah. So you have two more SOs, and I'm super jealous because you have South Central Rain from REM coming up. You have Sober from Tool on the way. You got a lot of really good stuff coming up, man.
It looks like a lot of S's still left, though, right?
Yeah, lots of S's.
Well,
yeah,
what did you just? You just gasped. What did you see?
Steve, I saw one you'll love.
What?
Solid Rock from Dire Straits.
Yes.
What a great song.
Great song.
What a great
We
song.
had Romeo and Juliet the other day in the R category.
One of my favorite songs of all time.
Just such, the Making Movies album from Dire Straits is just
masterpiece
from beginning to end. And then after that, Brett followed it with the cover of it from The Killers. The Killers do a wicked cover of Romeo and Juliet. Not a band you necessarily would think would do it, and do it just so lovely. So, the originals covers all of it. It just makes for a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Did you ever see years ago? Dire Straits released. They did. It was a 3-song video collection. It was "Tunnel of Love" into "Romeo and Juliet" and "Skate Away." And those are the videos they released, but they did them as sort of a like a little theatrical thing. And it's so cool, so well done, minimalist sets, just lit wildly, but it itself is a work of art.
Wow.
Just amazing.
That's a band I'd like to see play again, but there you go. I was hoping that you guys would get to Supper's Ready, but I don't think you're going to get it.
Probably
I
not.
don't. What is the longest we've had in the because obviously we're talking 10. So
13 minutes, something, didn't you? the other day?
No.
11 minutes.
No, we had Seek and Destroy. That was the longest one I think we've had so far
About
this
7
year.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Didn't you have a 10-minute one
Maybe.
earlier in the week?
I don't think you're going to get Suppers Ready either. And who's to be honest with you, we might get it tomorrow. I mean, there are so
Lot of
many
S's.
pages of S's. So
I'll go change the oil in my car when that.
Well, there you go. On we go.
All right. Thank you, Pierre. And real quick, before we wrap, I want to thank the Piccalilli Inn for being here this morning. I have one more $50 gift card to give away. We'll take caller number 19-610-660-9333. Thank you, Bonnie.
Oh, we love her.
The lovely owner who always brings by the goods. And she brought by the buffalo chicken dip, cornbread chili mini muffins.
Yeah, baby.
the Bang Bang sliders, and buffalo wings, tails, and ears, and all that good stuff. So we'll take that caller. We'll set you up, and you make a trip to the newly remodeled Piccalilli Inn for the game. See the new exterior dining room as you enjoy fresh made cocktails or an ice cold beer and the most incredible wings you've ever eaten. Visit Piccalilli.com. Would also like to thank our sponsors today. The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and by Pella Windows and Doors. Save now with 0% APR for 24 months. PellaPhilly.com. Tomorrow's Friday, so no sad bro, of course. We will have in our studio performing live Dorothy.
Wow. Yeah.
She's performed the MM-BBQ a couple of times, and tomorrow she is here to perform in our studio. Also, with that announcement about possible life, evidence of form of life on Mars, Derek Pitts from the Franklin Institute will be in our studio, and we always geek out with him.
Absolutely. He'll help us to what's going on.
And Garrett Stubbs of the Phils.
Hey.
Back in the bigs. We'll be checking in, and we'll do the connoisseur and more. So it's going to be a full, fun day tomorrow morning. That's it. We are done. Rage on. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.